Hey everyone, and it's great to see you back for Edge of Legends. Welcome to October 14th, and that means it is October 14th. Yes, it is. And that means we have Nightmare of Doltonshire, episode 2. But before we get into the spooky, scary, creepy, disturbing stuff, really quick, make a quick little heads up. There will be moments throughout the episode where there will be some language that's abrasive and maybe a little upsetting. Nothing offensive, nothing racial, just, some angry words. And we might also see depictions. Let me rephrase that. You will hear descriptions and depictions of violence. So if this is a little out of your wheelhouse, then, just let you know, we wanted to warn you up front before moving forward. That being said, the content warning out of the way, as this is a very scary Halloween episode, we are going to do some quick introductions, starting with my man, Michael Powell. Tell him who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael Powell, and one of those offending word would probably be the word moist.
No. I'm telling a Halloween story. I'm not telling whatever that is.
But yeah, I play Laszlo Sigrin, Summoner and Oracle, and my pronouns are he, him, they, and them.
All right. Next up, Sam. Please tell us who you are and who you're playing and what your pronouns are.
Hello, my name is Sam Sterling, and I'm tonight playing Puko Rossi, a Tengu sorcerer, little birdie friend. My pronouns are she, her, and Puko's pronouns are they, them. And that's all.
Lovely. And I'm not forgetting this time, Kylie. I'm not, I swear. The amazing, the incomparable, the truly inspiring Kylie. Please grace us with who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hello, I am Kylie. I will be playing a new character named Lucinda Mineroli. She is a duelist, a fortune teller duelist, and we go by she, her.
Awesome. Well, and also welcoming back to the show in this time of great spooky horror, and we're really glad to have our healer back. Sidney, tell us, of course, who you are, and who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hi, my name is Sidney. I will be playing Amren. She is a witch, and her lovely little familiar, Omri, who is a lovely little green, tiny, slithery, amazing snake. And our pronouns are she, her.
Lovely. And my name is PJ Megaw. I will be playing PJ Megaw, and my pronouns are, no, that's not funny. I'm PJ. I'll be the GM for today's episode. My pronouns are he, him. I'll be playing everything in between. So a quick recap for those that may have missed last week's episode or didn't see the recap that we posted earlier today. So the last episode 1 of Nightmare of Doltonshire, the Compass Rose, an organization looking for information, insight, and adventure, has somehow peered through the multiverse in the multiple dimensions that exist and found the Pathfinder Society. In an attempt to make a bonding with them, they both promised to go off and find a well-kept secret of the world to use as sort of a charter between dimensions. So the Compass Rose took a long time. They finally found this little hidden city called Doltonshire. Never existed to their knowledge, and they've sent 16 members of the Compass Rose to go and investigate. Well, they got to Doltonshire Bay Town. Things didn't go very great. Turns out Zog, the father of the meat, hungered for their flesh, and at the end of the day, Tico, the kobold alchemist, died in the jaws of a townsfolk to succumb to the madness of hunger. And the other was eaten whole by a pug dog, which left us with just one survivor of the original episode, Michael Powell, who is currently standing tall with 1 hit point. Making a note of that right now. 1 hit point. Now, that being the case, there are still other members of the Compass Rose. 16 left, 4 died. So we now know there's about 12, all scrambling about this giant city, trying really hard to survive a city that's trying to eat them, literally alive. And without any other shift or change or more information, we pick up exactly where we left off. Laszlo, you and the rest of your compatriots of the Order of the Compass Rose. Your legs pound and shake. Your knees buzz and ache as your feet slap against a heavy stone hilly road. Your lungs give out and your body goes numb. Numb except for the shaking as your heart pounds in vain to keep your blood pumping fast enough. Looking down the alley back behind you to the seaside bay, you find the path is empty like a lie, betraying your memory like an illusion. Suddenly, a gentle voice snaps you and everyone here from their paranoia and panic. The voice addresses you. Hello, stranger. You seem scared. Are you lost? You look to see a well-dressed family, each with coal-black hair. They greet you. The husband's concerned face is halfway masked by a well-groomed beard and an eye patch. The wife covers part of her face with a black silk fan, masking her concerns as well. The children's matching thick coal-black hair is unkempt and unstyled and in constant need of being pulled from their face. With their high collars, brocade purple and red fabrics, polished jackboots and gloves would suggest that this family is of money. I'll say again, stranger, you seem to have an awful fright about you. Are you unarmed?
Laszlo's like holding like one of his wounds to try to stem the flow of blood. He kind of skitters back a little bit. The dead. They're all dead. They're all dead.
I would like to also open up that everyone is here with Laszlo. Laszlo is not alone. You guys are also here. You are the 12 survivors so far. The family, the dad, kind of like puts some hands on you to like calm you down and looks down the hill. He looks for a long stern glare and then comes back to you and he says, "What is important now is, are you okay?"
No, okay. Like from Laszlo's, with his already dark circles under his eyes, his wild look, and I guess right now kind of tattered clothing. I'm guessing from his wounds, he kind of looks like a madman, to say the least.
That being said, let's get a description of what everyone else in the party looks like as you're being greeted by this very well-to-do family.
Oh, okay. If you can imagine a very sketchy witch wearing a black cloak and eyes that seem like there's something just a little bit weird off about them, with incredibly long blonde hair. Oh, gee, who would have thought? And a hood up. Like this.
Oh, perfect. Hey, at least you have like hair that you can role play with. I can't do anything with this hair. All right, so we have a witch wearing all black with long blonde hair. Kylie, please describe your character.
Lucinda her hair easily goes past her shoulders. Very curly, very much ringlet, kind of like Shirley Temple kind of ringlet hair. She's wearing a plain white kind of peasant blouse, followed by leather chest plate. As armor, she has a rapier on her back, dagger on strapped to her boot. Doesn't look quite threatening, but also don't want to see her when you're walking down an alley alone.
Yeah, the weapons alone would make me a little nervous. And I mean, obviously with that, the intent and ability to use them. Sam, describe your character.
Yes, so Puko is a Tengu, which is the raven folk. So human-sized, still medium, but they have lots of black feathers with the kind of greenish purple sheen that you see on ravens. Wearing simple clothes that seem like they're a bit tattered and worn. Maybe something's a little hand woven on it. Some twigs. in the feathers. And you notice that at the end of their wings, their claws look pretty sharp. And a
Very
book bag.
nice.
Mhm.
Oh,
You gotta have a book bag.
should I actually describe what Laszlo looks beyond just tattered clothing?
I know we went to a description last week. Yeah, if you could give me a very short description, I think that'd be okay.
Sure. He's a half elf with kind of a stringy blonde hair, pale complexion, and kind of a nobleman's outfit, about 5 years out of fashion.
Okay.
And his house crest is on, kind of where a polo would be, logo would be on a shirt.
Okay. So the family is addressing you all, and they continue to say, like, "Are you okay? I looked down the road. I don't see anything there. What is important is that whatever happened, you are here and you are safe with us. Do you need anything at all?"
Nanny. And as soon as he kind of says that, a creature materializes nearby. The body is basically a maid, but that instead of a head, it's a lit candle with a symbol of a triangle with brackets on the outside of it.
Okay.
And the same symbol's glowing on his throat now.
All right. What about the rest of you guys?
Just so we know, for the rest of us, what had we just experienced? 'Cause did we see the mob?
Oh, yeah. So you guys saw the mob chasing your fellow people out of town. In fact, you can safely assume a mob also chased you out of town. Upon trying to look back at the horse and carriage, you found the carriage was shattered to splinters, and the only thing left on the horse was one horse hoof. You put two and two together and quickly found out that the two children playing with horseshoes ate the horse and the carriage, and the driver was partially eaten by one of the town members before they threw him into the sea.
Ah, fun. You go, Sam. You handle this one. We'll let you go.
This lovely family of four is just like, "Are you okay?" And there's Sam just going, "Oh God, no, I'm not okay."
Puko is just like, to Laszlo. Is anybody alive still?
No, all dead. All dead.
Oh, okay. Can we leave at all?
Yes. Away from this accursed place.
Amran is gonna pipe up and say, I'm not gonna do the French. I can't do the French accent. It's gonna be so bad.
Do it.
I'll try. Okay, I'll try. Bonjour. Oh God. So I do not know if we can leave. We have not finished anything that we set out to do. If we are going to leave, we need to have a plan of action. Otherwise, this loss has been for nothing. And we have completely failed our comrades who have fallen in battle.
The hell with the mission. The hell with the mission. I rather survive than have to go back out there.
So the thing is, we have a sworn duty. We do. We have a sworn duty to find out the things that are important in this world. We see there are people in trouble. And yes, while it might be smarter to run, there are still things that we have to do. If you want to run, where will you go? This will not leave you. These memories, they will be there. They will be there every time you go to bed. But if you do something to help, you might be able to assuage whatever demons might be haunting you after this.
the hell with duty. I say we head to as far as Idlefarm Prime, or maybe north, as far away as from here as we possibly can.
Amran, go for it.
No, keep going.
Amran just going to turn to Lucinda, and do you have any thoughts on this situation? You seem pretty stable yourself compared to our other friends.
So Lucinda is very calm at the moment and not very shooken up. Like, yeah, like you could tell, like, wow, that was a lot that just happened, but it's not. It's very calm and kind of serene to her, and she's like, well, death itself isn't one that I fear, nor is it one that I run from. I have my own duties. I have a family to feed. I can't just go running off. So I say just keep going.
This would be my suggestion. So, we have information now. We do. Good, helpful information. Scary, intimidating information, but information nonetheless. Now, what we can do is take this and use it to our advantage.
And how do you plan on doing that?
Well, when one door closes, one always opens. There's always a chance. Now, we might have to be a little bit more stealthy than normal, but I don't think that should be a problem for us. We don't have any large, annoying paladins nearby or anything of the sort, so there's a lot of room for sneaking and walking.
Ouch. Somewhere someone takes offense to that.
I know it hurt when I said it. I was like, no.
So as you all have this discussion, planning your next step, the wife of the family, who by the way has not moved her fan yet, she places a hand on your shoulder, and she says to you, "We understand that you are trying to leave this place, but where you cannot go again. Please, stay for the night in the city main. Come back to us for later in the evening. We will give you a carriage first thing in the morning that will get you out of town. But going back, this you cannot do. Please, stay here. Be safe."
Can I roll perception on this family?
Go right ahead. What are you looking for?
Is
Undead qualities.
Right.
there? Oh, sorry.
Oh, good. Okay, that is an 18.
18. Okay. You don't see any undead features about them.
Mm-hmm.
You do get a weird vibe, not from them emotionally, but about them physically. You start to realize they all have the exact same hair, facial features. It's kind of creepy how similar they all are. Like, it's one thing to say, oh, you have your father's eyes. The kid's a spitting image of his dad, and the daughter's a spitting image of her mom. Give me one more not dexterity. What the heck am I saying? Give me one more perception check.
Okay, I also have this skill feat called Schooled in Secrets. And it says, you notice the signs and symbols that members of mystery cults and other secret societies use to declare their affiliation to fellow members. You can use occultism in place of diplomacy to gather information about such groups. If you belong to a secret cult, lodge, sect, or similar organization, you automatically recognize members of your group unless they are specifically attempting to conceal their presence from you.
All right, give me the occultism check or perception check. I think you said you could use.
That's a 25.
25. Okay.
Hey.
I will be sending you 1 second, Michael. I'll be sending you a private message.
Oh no.
Cool. Ooh, secrets.
They make me nervous.
Okay, Michael, what was that?
I kind of want to do the same thing because I have the same feat.
All right, go right ahead.
Yeah. It's either occultism or what?
Occultism would be, I think, occultism or perception. I think both can work in this case too.
Okay. 19.
19. Oh, there's a dog that is mad that they're not getting ham sandwiches.
It's very specific.
I mean, I'd be mad if I didn't get a ham sandwich.
Do you want me to go to the kitchen and make you a sandwich?
No, I'm sending you a secret.
Sending you a secret.
If I make a really bomb-ass sandwich, I'm just saying. I make a really good sandwich. I got the sweet spicy mustard and everything. And Kewpie pie mayo. Mwah.
All right. So the secrets have been sent, thankfully, to the right people. So the family insists that you stay until the night, and they offer their house to you. They say that if you can stay in the night, in the morning, they'll get a carriage to you right away, and you can leave here first thing in the morning in a carriage. They tell you their place is on a street somewhere in the nicer part of City, Maine, called Threshold Row. And with that, they excuse themselves because they have to prepare for dinner and family bonding time. And they proceed to leave you in the city street.
Well, personally, I think we should follow them. We have nowhere else to go. This place is covered in fog. We have no way of getting out safely. So I think we take the kindness of a few very helpful strangers and we go regroup.
All right, that's up to you guys. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to go follow the family of four, or do you want to get your legs about you with the city? Do you want to see where there is a place to go? The choice is yours.
I think that we should go with them, follow them. But maybe there's some things on the way. We could just keep our eyes peeled, just in case there's anything else weird.
Anything else weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this whole town is weird. I don't think it's anything that limits to one thing, but
Laszlo he's kind of quiet, but he kind of looks at everybody like y'all crazy, but he's like, he also understands safety in numbers. That's how he survived last time.
Okay. So, here's what I'll do. I'll go around and ask each of you individually what you're going to do. And since I have a feeling, Michael, you're going to be following someone, I'm going to go with you last, unless you wish to go someplace else on your own, or make a path.
Yeah.
All right. So, Sam, where do you want to go?
I think Puko is also a bit of a follower. So the idea of following the family that was put up, I think they will go with that.
All right. So Sam is going to go follow the family. Kylie, where are you going?
following the family.
Following the family. Okay. And Sidney, where are you going?
Following the family.
I love it. Well, I'm assuming, Michael, you're following them, following the family?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he does kind of murmur as he's following everybody. I do need healing. He's pretty battered.
Dewey, so if I remember correctly, we have a sorcerer, a witch, and a fighter.
Yeah.
Is anyone able to heal the 1 HP summoner oracle?
Oh no.
It can be like mundane healing, because I got a healer's kit. That's about it.
It's something. Yeah. If you give me a D20 on that medicine check, you could get, I think, 1d6 or 1d6 plus wisdom modifier. Either way, it's better than having 1 HP.
Yeah.
Ooh, not by much.
Oh.
That's an 8 for a D20.
Is that with your medicine check on top of that?
Yep.
I was gonna say, can I give her aid? Well, I guess 9's not going to really help.
No, nope. So you look at Laszlo's wounds, and you're reminded of all the times you spent field dressing in the combat zone when you were growing up as a fighter. And at the end of the day, you look at him and you're like, your mind just goes, toughen up, walk it off. And you don't really have any other options to give him with an 8. I'm sorry. So my man, yeah, is that Sam?
I was gonna say, could I give a try for mundane healing?
Yeah, I'll allow it. I think you can only take 1 per hour, but since really nothing happened, I'll allow it.
Okay. Let me grab my dice really quick.
That's the one downside of you not dying, Michael. Now you're at severe disadvantage.
Yeah. Hard mode.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, oh my god, who said it? Oh yeah, Mahooch was like, is this family's last name Manson? I'm like,
I mean,
well, I'll tell you their last name in a second. Sam, what was the medicine check?
That was a 17.
Okay, cool. I will allow a roll of 1d6 for that. So go ahead and roll 1d6, be a flat 1d6, and it will be added to Laszlo's HP.
5.
5? All right. What was that, Sidney? Were you going to say something?
oh, nothing. I'm just remembering to stock up on potions.
Yeah, we should have done that. But Laszlo looks over at Pico. He just goes, Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. Looks like it hurts.
Yes. It was a bloodbath.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry we didn't get you out of there at this when we went. There we saw the dead horse.
As soon as we get out of this town, the better.
Okay, so really fast, 2 things. So the family they would have given you their last name. They are known as the Aspicibis. If you want to know how to spell that, I don't blame you. It is spelled, look at my notes here really fast. Aspicebis, the Aspicibis.
Nice.
And they introduced themselves as Harold, Carol, Gerald, and Marigold.
Oh. I liked them for a second.
Anyway, sorry, I gotta be serious. So that's their names. And also, I mean, everyone make a perception check.
Yes. Oh, Michael.
ooh, that's rough, buddy.
I do have that hero point, but I'm gonna save it.
Good call. Good
Yeah.
call. I got a 25.
Sidney got a 25.
Sure did.
And what did you get, Sam?
12.
12. And last but not least, Kylie, what did you get?
18.
18. Okay.
And you know what I got.
Yup. You are the one that stands alone.
The cheese always stands alone.
Be careful, those bad rolls got Ian killed.
Oh,
Real
yeah.
quick.
So as you proceed to walk through the city, Sidney, something kind of catches your eye just at the periphery. As you start following the family, you see this candlelight in the middle of the road. At first, it's hard to kind of figure out what it is. But you double take, and sure enough, you can see what looks like a flickering candlelight on the horizon of the cobblestone streets. As you try to adjust your gaze, it seems just back on the sidewalk, off in the distance, maybe maybe one of the many different fire braziers was knocked off into the street, but when you fix your eyes, maybe someone fixed it. And at this time, you start noticing the city street is kind of this long, giant, stony thoroughfare. There's many charming stone and slatted wood house kind of all over. Some are workhouses where they live upstairs and they go downstairs to do their job. Some are duplexes or hotels, or I'm sorry, not hotels, apartments. And all throughout the city streets, you see these kind of street braziers, these small kind of metal fire pits with a low dim fire, and it's almost systematic. Every couple of doors, 2 per block, you're seeing these braziers light the way. So it almost seems to be this candlelights playing tricks with the fire and the braziers. Michael, as you proceed to wait to be the last person to leave, you start to hear a commotion. You look around trying to figure out the source of the commotion, and then you see 2 men, face red from drinking and anger, and they're in this graceless, violent scrap. Their punches go wide, their body shots go with the awkward blows of their fingers and not their knuckles. And as they punch and strike and they swear at each other, eventually their drunken anger just exhausts at all the alcohol that's fueling them, and they just fall to the ground, heaving and breathing, and pass out on the cold stone ground, their stomachs undulating like a chimney bellow as they catch their breath from their stupid drunken scuffle. Everyone else, you just see the Aspichibis walk down the road.
Interesting. I'm going to catch up to the front of the Aspichibis, and Amren is going to address them directly. And she's going to say, "How long have you been living in this town?"
We have been living here, qu'est-ce que c'est? For a few years. We have been here like 5 or 10 years, 15 years at the top. We found ourselves here. We are not from around here, but everyone has been very accommodating, very loving to us here in the city main. We have a very lovely house on Threshold Row. But yeah, we are technically new, I suppose.
Is there anything about this town that you find particularly interesting? Something that compels you to stay?
The husband kind of looks into the air like he's trying to find the correct answer in this now chilly autumn breeze in the afternoon, and like the gray, silver, wet skies. And he says, I suppose the thing that keeps us here is not the city, but the questions about the city. What makes it so special, so unique. We have never been to a place like this before. In its own way, I suppose it is fascinating.
Well, I certainly love it so far, so I'm very excited to see what happens next.
Good. Apologies. We are going to have dinner with the family and get ready for family togetherness. Regrettably, you all are not part of our family. You will not be welcome inside. You are welcome to walk across the city, enjoy the tavern, enjoy the foundry, enjoy all of the different places inside of the city main. We will see you later tonight. Please come to us after it gets dark, and we will give you a place to stay for the night.
Absolutely. We will see you then. Amren is going to turn back to the group. So, we have a very interesting task ahead of us. We have a few hours to fill. How does everyone feel about finding the oldest building in this city?
Aslo looks away from the drunken brawl, and looks to everybody. I think it'd be more fortuitous if we restock on supplies. I don't know about you people, but I do not trust exactly this family.
For why do you say that? They have done nothing to allude to anything else. They have been incredibly accommodating, and they're having dinner with their family alone. I mean, I respect that they have their traditions and their way of doing things. But you make a very valid point. We do not have many supplies. Perhaps we should go visit a local merchant and get some potions, something to help you, perhaps.
Yes. I do not trust anything about this town.
Well, given your previous experience, I can see why. He's going to turn around. Where are we?
Great question. I was actually just about to ask. So you are still on the giant thoroughfare of the city main. This entire area is called City Main. It is one large road that does kind of splinter off into smaller roads, as you can tell from the turns here and there. As you're looking around, you see that there are a number of, as I said earlier, live-in workhouses. So like it's 2 or 3 stories. And the first story is the business, like the cobbler, the baker, that kind of quaint old world charm. It's very old world, but like money old world, if that makes any sense. So some of them are those, and some of them are just duplexes and apartments that they house multiple people. And you do see signs going all about saying like the different major landmarks to the city. Your places to go, should you wish to explore and learn about more of where you're at. You have the city main town hall. You have the city collections and complaints registry. You have the home and hearth tavern and the foundry. Those are all your options. As you look around, you see signs that have not only the words written in common, but this kind of adorable, quaint, kind of wood burning with paint and gold filigree. It's very, very beautiful and very charming.
I think we should file a complaint.
Oh, a complaint about the meat-eating people?
Do you think they have pretty responsive turnaround times?
Amran's gonna turn to you. And considering that this town seems to have a lot of money and a lot of people that aren't acknowledging the fact that there was a horde of people eating people, I think they keep things pretty hush-hush around here.
But why would they have a place to file complaints if it wasn't effective? Is this what they call bureaucracy?
Lazo kind of gives kind of a, you know that Simpsons meme dog, the shifty dog meme. He kind of gives that look like they're all on it. They're all in on it. Every every damn one of them.
Well, you know, it couldn't hurt to try. However, I would be very careful with what we say. How about this? I'd put out some feelers first.
All right.
Is anyone good at charisma? Yay!
I was going to say, I would hope the summoner and the sorcerer and the fortune teller might be. So, Really fast. Do you want to head to the complaints registry? Do you want to split up and get a cover mark round of the town? Do you want to all go to the complaint registry? What do you want to do?
I'll look back at is it Onrad?
Amran.
And say, the complaints can wait. I think if we can get supplies, we should do that first.
All right. So who would like to go get supplies with the very injured man?
Lucinda immediately looks off and whistles. And like continues shuffling her tarot cards. Like almost like a nervous tick, and like flipping them a couple of times and continues to shuffle.
Amran notices the tarot cards and her eyes immediately flicker a little bit. She said, well, I think that makes it very clear. You two should go get supplies, and then Lucinda and I are going to have a chat and explore.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Cool.
So far it looks like Laszlo and Lucinda are looking for supplies. So I'm going to make that group 2. Now, group A is going to consist of, until I'm correct otherwise, because I haven't quite gotten where everyone's going yet. Sam and Sidney, are you both going in the same direction, or are you going to split that up? That's fine too.
Oh, I think me and Laszlo are getting supplies.
Yeah.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
Okay, so never hurts to check. So Sam and Puko and Laszlo, you're getting supplies.
Yes.
So Lucinda and Amran, where are you going?
Well, Amran's gonna look at Lucinda and kind of go, there's plenty of old buildings in this town. Would you like to put those cards to good use?
I mean, we certainly can. It's the gods tell me a number of things: death, change, future. She kind of like looks off into the distance. Could tell me a fair number of things about this town. So why not give it a shot?
Where did Amran see that candle?
Amran saw it going down the road. It was really hard to tell because the road just kind of, like railroads on the horizon. But you can kind of tell it looks like it's headed off into the east side of town, either the Tavern or in the direction of the Foundry. Possibly maybe the complaints registry. It's all kind of in that half of the city.
What is the Foundry?
The Foundry, most foundries are where kind of you get a lot of blacksmiths working with heavy machinery and tools that they're making things, that kind of stuff.
Let's take the fighter to the Foundry.
Okay, so making sure I have this just right. So Lucinda and Amran, you're going to the Foundry, team 1. Team B, sue me, I don't care. Laszlo and Puko, you are going to look for supplies. Now, looking around, you find that none of the stores that would have supplies are open. You do see that the Tavern, though, does have kind of a long list of things that they can sell, not just food and drink, but medicine, etc., etc. Would you prefer to go to the Tavern instead?
Well, we could break into the supply store, or we could go to the tavern. What do you think, Laszlo?
Laszlo just kind of looks back and forth. It'd probably be a better idea to go to a tavern instead of breaking into one of these storefronts. You never know what will be hidden in one of these stores. As I said, I don't trust this town. Too many secrets. Too many secrets.
I think you're right. Even though it says closed, and typically when things are closed, people are not there. This is a creepy place. So you're right. It could not align with what the sign says.
Yes. And as I said, you never know. I wouldn't want to be staring down a blade of one of the shopkeeper's blades or something nastier than that.
Good call.
All right.
Let's go.
So I'm going to take a quick bio break. I'll be right back. I want you guys to roll initiative to figure out who goes where first. Hold on that roll. I'll be right back in a second.
He's going to be like, already? Wow, we're walking. Well, I guess that's how it happened last time.
About had a heart attack there, yeah. I was like...
I'm just like, oh. The shopkeeper saw you from the window and was like, too late, I already looked.
Yeah.
They can read beaks, and they saw my beak mouth break in.
Exactly.
I'm just seeing a shopkeeper just like, yes, come into the shop.
Hey, Kylie, quick question.
What's up?
Mechanics-wise, is that tarot card flavor text, or is that something that you can use in-game?
That is such a good question. Let's find out.
Yeah! Okay, great! Awesome. I'm very excited.
I mean, so I have a feat called Oddity Identification. And I feel like that kind of goes in hand with the tarot, because it's all about she can send spells that twist the mind, and my immediate thought was bend the bones and then the back.
Oh,
My apologies. I've been dealing with head spins all day as I've been chugging water. So, Sam and Michael, what is your perception? I'm sorry. Perception check for initiative.
Dirty 20.
See that, but that's a 1. And then that would be 6 total.
Okay, 6 total. Excellent. And Sidney and Kylie, what is your perception check for initiative?
17.
17.
13.
13. Okay. So we're going to be starting with Sid and Kylie. Sid and Kylie, I would like to ask both of you to roll a perception check as you make your way to the Foundry.
Not much better.
21.
21 for who was that again?
Amran.
Amran 21. Okay. And Kylie, what was yours?
13.
13. Okay. So you follow the signs of the Foundry. You start kind of going into a darker part of the city where there are buildings now being connected by walkways, very old walkways. And as you start getting into this very narrow alley, it starts to immediately open up into a large industrial district. And there's a massive foundry, workshop, warehouse, what have you. As you're walking there, Amran, you swear out of the corner of your eye, you think you see another candlelight just gently flickering out of your peripheral. Looking back at it, you see maybe it was just another one of the street braziers in this cold part of the town, but just light flickering and dancing. Kylie, you come to the Foundry. Lucinda comes to the Foundry. You both get there, but you see it's very, very large. There's a lot of open windows cracked as if to let heat escape, and a lot of these giant industrial grates are open, big enough to let in swaths of people. And it's been pulled back. You can even see the awning. And inside, you can see the light glow of the Foundry's machines start to pound and pulse with life. What do you do?
She immediately... They haven't walked inside or anything, right?
Not yet, no.
Okay, cool. She's going to kind of take in her surroundings, look around a little bit, flip one more card. If I wanted to use these cards, would that be a performance check? Or is this just for, like, what are your thoughts, PJ?
Are you doing them to get a reading, or are you using them for something like to do a reading for someone else?
I'm in general. We can do either.
Sure.
Just so I know.
Sure. So what I will say now is that if you want to do an honest reading, Arcana check. If you want to, shall we say, bamboozle or coerce, or even do this for money, that'll be a performance check.
Right on. So she is going to stop shuffling for a minute and then, like, look over at Amrin and be like, do you want to go first? Because I'm all right.
Okay, yes. Amran is going to walk in with her little cloak, and then so her snake, Amri, is going to slither out from her shawl up on her shoulder, and Amri is going to slither around and just take a peek. The great thing about my familiar is that they're independent. So this isn't necessarily right now, but in an encounter, if I don't command my familiar, it still gains 1 action each round. So, and I can typically decide how it spends that action, or PJ, you have the power to decide how it spends that action. So I'm going to have Amri slither down my leg and just take a peek into any dark corners inside the Foundry as I go and try and find the blacksmith.
Okay, so you're sending Henri kind of down your leg and on the floor to do reconnaissance while you look for the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Henri starts to slither off. In a few seconds, he is gone. After a few moments, you catch what appears to be a dwarven man working by the foundry. They are working very aggressively. Their hammer is very loud. The heat is constantly spitting sparks and fiery spittle all over his body. And even though he's got an apron and goggles and leather gloves for protection, the sparks just land on his body without any thought or reaction. He slams his tools into the metal, and as loud as it is, you can still hear him swear and spit, and he's mumbling, and sometimes he's just hammering away, just you see him lashing out with his hammer and slamming against the machines in the foundry, just working. And eventually, he is aware to your presence. As he's slamming this hammer down, he kind of goes, pulls the goggles back, and you see his eyes wide, unflinching, staring at you in the dimly lit dark, with the only light being the fiery orange glow, the umber hue of the forge. And he looks at you, and he says, "What? Who are you? How can I help? I need to get back to work."
Oh dear. Okay, so Amran is going to address him as she would, and she says, "Well, you see, I'm looking for someone to make a doorknob."
Give me a deception check. And while they're doing that, you can give me a deception check to aid.
Ooh. This is not going well today.
That was an 18, by the way.
An 18. Okay.
Yes.
13.
Okay. So he looks at you, sniffing the air with this great aggression. You need me to make you a doorknob?
Hmm.
Why here? You could go to anyone. Ah! They're closed. Of course they're closed. No one works hard nowadays. Yeah. I can make you a doorknob. How much time you got? What do you need? What do you want? What do you need?
Something simple. Nothing too hard. Just one brass doorknob, hopefully done by the end of the night, and she's going to use, so she has a cantrip called Discern Secrets that uses a focus point. And you can call upon your patron's power to better uncover secrets. When you cast a spell, the target can recall knowledge, seek, or sense motive. The target gains a +1 status bonus to the skill or perception used for the roll, and this bonus remains as long as you sustain the spell. The target is temporarily immune to discern secrets for 1 minute. So she is going to ask him for this object, and she's also going to ask tell me about what's the name of the family?
The Aspichibis.
Okay. We ran into the Aspichibis on our way into town, and this doorknob is for them. I was wondering if you might know if they have any preferences to that sort of thing.
You can see the wild-eyed, very fidgety blacksmith in front of this giant foundry forge. Kind of, his eyes don't stop staring wildly, but he goes, yeah, I know them. The weird, they keep to themselves, but they're the only decent people in town, really. Doorknob. I thought their door was fine. I thought their door was great. I can make a doorknob, but I need dimensions. If you could just come here and give me specs. I need specs if I'm going to make the doorknob. I need the tumblers. I need the size, weight, the metal. I need specs. I can't work from nothing.
Hey, Lucinda, where are you at right now?
Probably during that whole conversation, she probably just took like a big step back. Like, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. Following that, can I do a reading, but do an occult check instead?
Sure, I'll allow that for now.
Ooh. That's a 22.
Okay, so what are you trying to ask the cards exactly? Just get like a certain situation?
Yes, like who, like intentions. Like, are his intentions true? Is he true? Is he alive? Is he kind of, who is this blacksmith?
Okay. So you reach into the cards, you start putting them out into the formation of which you use to discern your answers, and you start flipping them up one by one, and you start placing them in their spots. And as you reflect upon the cards, you get wheel and woe as the response from the cards. They gave you both a good and a bad. And that's kind of your general response to your question. Is just a good and a bad.
Interesting. She kind of like, I don't know what you would call this, but kind of like twists her wrists and like her bangles and her rings kind of shine in the firelight that could be seen. And she looks at him and tilts her head and says, how long have you been doing this for?
Give me a diplomacy check.
Could be worse. 16.
You said 16, correct?
Yes.
He immediately, his head snaps at you, eyes wide, as he says, "What do you want to know? Why do you have to ask me questions? What does it matter? Can't you say I've been here my entire life? What do you want from me? How dare you come to my place of work and you ask me these stupid questions? You filthy street rat. Why are you even here?"
Can't a person just get to know another person?
His eyes grow wide. He goes, "People don't know people. I don't know you. This is my place of work. I don't go where you flip your stupid cards and ask you questions about them. I'm trying to make a doorknob. Are you going to help me make a doorknob? Or are you going to sit here and play with your paper cards?"
Well, she's going to look at Ren and be like, "Oh, well, do you have money to pay this man?"
I do have money. I do. Amran is going to look at him in a very different light because she can't believe how rude that was. So she's going to turn to him. And she's going to say, well, I don't appreciate the way you were speaking to my friend for asking you basic questions, here are the dimensions for a doorknob. Do you want me to actually give you dimensions for a doorknob? Because
No, out of character, I don't.
Okay, great.
Out of character, I don't need dimensions for the doorknob.
Okay.
What I do need is a diplomacy check.
Yeah, you got it. Ooh. That's just die face 18.
Okay. He doesn't so much as apologize as he does kind of retreat into himself, clearly aware that he has stepped out of line. And he says, Yeah. I'll take those dimensions. I'll make the doorknob. I'll make the doorknob. And the dwarf just kind of takes the notes down with the graphite pencil on the anvil he's working on. So he has the measurements there. And he looks at you and he says, all right. I know a lot of people in this town. I know the Aspicabes, but I don't know you. So what brings you to the Foundry today? Are you staying warm?
Do I look like someone who cares about the cold?
Give me another diplomacy check.
That's a... Oh, wait. What am I doing? Die face. 17.
17. He looks at you. He takes his giant hammer and he slams it in the anvil. And he continues to go on a rant full of just spewing hatred and swears. He looks at you and he says, I'm sick and tired of giving a job to do. And every time I try to do my job, I got to handle with people telling me how to do it. And they don't help me. They just tell me how. And they get in my way. I have so much stone and steel to work with. And you dare come into my foundry and you ask me these questions. I need you two to make either a reflex save or an athletics check.
Oh, gosh.
Choice.
that was so close to being so good. 17.
Kylie got a 17.
Yep.
That's a dirty 20. Oh, come on!
Why did you do that to us?
Suddenly, the darkness of the foundry is lit with eyes of other dwarves coming from the dark, shadowy corners of the foundry. Their hammers slamming onto the ground, sparks giving sight, the eyes wide with madness and anger. And the man by the foundry fire slams his hammer, and he keeps saying, I have to be the one that keeps the forge lit. I am the one that has to work 12 hours straight, twice a day. I get no breaks. And you come into me on my 23rd hour and you tell me to make you a doorknob, a total stranger. I will keep the forge lit. And I will do it so I can rest idly. And he runs at you with his hammer. He tries to grab a hold of Sidney. Sidney, your character, breaks free, but in the wild fit of rage, his hammer swings wide and clips Kylie in the head. Lucinda goes down. You see your friend bleeding from the forehead as the dwarf now is grabbing her body and trying to struggle to get it and move it away. And you slowly become surrounded by dwarves. Sidney, you have one chance. You are in the Keep It Lit haunt. Keep the forge lit. What do you do? Do you flee?
No.
Or do you try to make one last-ditch effort to save Lucinda's life?
Okay. I'm going to cast the Hex Distraction. I'm going to cause the dwarf to suffer hallucinatory distractions whenever it tries to cast a spell or use a spell-like ability. Anytime the creature attempts to do so, must succeed a concentration check. So I'm going to distract it, hopefully, so I can grab Lucinda and run.
Alright, try to make a save on the distraction.
The DC is 15 plus twice a spell. Wait, no. Successful will saving throw negates this hex, yeah.
So it's willpower save, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
My spell DC is 18.
Foundry man is working 12-hour shifts back to back. He's on his 23rd hour of his day. He is 1 hour from his break, and you have decided to come in here and ask him to make a doorknob. After much discussion, his rage has not been assuaged, and he has lashed out. You make the distraction. With a total roll of 12, he recoils in terror and turns into the foundry fire. He catches himself before he falls into the forge, and he screams a quiet scream, all throat muscles constricting, no sound, as he just roars into the blaze. Lucinda's safe. You are able to grab her. Do you run away?
Yes.
You proceed to run away from the foundry. You see an army of dwarves slamming their hammers and screaming swears, and their face is bright red. You don't know if it's beet red from the fires of the foundry or the rage that is now chasing after you. Once you break the threshold of the foundry, the dwarves stand there at the edge, slamming their massive hammers, screaming, "Get over here! We have to keep the fires lit! I will use your skin for char! Get over here!" In a few seconds, the foundry is gone. You have survived the first haunt of the episode.
Please tell me my snake came with me, please!
Make a perception check.
Oh.
But she's independent. That is a math. That's a 19.
As the dwarves slowly retreat to the Foundry forge, you see a tiny little shadow worming its way to you, as your snake is now covered in soot and oil and grease.
They need a bath.
We are going to make a harsh cut over to Sam and Michael at the tavern. All right. The tavern door opens to a warm and inviting pub. The bar sits in the back center, so there's plenty of room to enter, but everyone at the bar can see you as you enter. They can turn and say hi. However, no one at the bar seems to even turn or move to greet you. The bartender is leaning back on the shelves, eyeing the patrons at the bar with the same focus as someone putting a match to a fuse and waiting for the cord to catch fire. There's a lovely fireplace in the back left, must be where the tavern gets its name, though the large comfy chairs by the fireplace, these large upholstered leather chairs by this warm and cozy fire with animal furs, they're empty. There are lovely wooden booths, carved and polished with care, plush velvet seat cushions the patrons can lean back on with this ornate design, the booths depicting woodland creatures prancing in joy and looking through the glass window from their seat and into the city to see the city streets. The booths are almost all but full, yet this bar is quiet. It's very, very quiet, despite all the people here drinking. Welcome to the Home and Hearth Tavern, says no one. What do you do?
Laszlo looks over at Pico and goes, friendly, isn't it?
I've actually seen much more friendly taverns. It's not friendly. It's not friendly looking at all, actually.
Really quick, PJ, you said that we saw there was a list of stuff that we could buy. What was on that list?
Oh yeah, so you see obviously food and drinks. You also see traveling supplies. You see rations. You see some basically med kits. They call them hospitalier side bags. Things you can take on the road to heal yourself with. Poultices. Basic medicine, nothing too fancy. Things like that.
Okay. Lasso kind of shuffles over to, I'm guessing, the person who would be the bartender or a barkeep, or is there a separate area for buying general goods?
From what you can tell, it looks like all business is done through the barkeep, who is now kind of leaning back on a shelf, and he's eyeballing everyone at the bar very closely.
Oh, he goes over to the barkeep and goes, we require supplies.
All right, pull up a seat. What do you need?
Some medicine would be good. Poultices. Do you have anything stronger, like potions or anything like that?
I can maybe ask someone. Until then, you have to sit down. You're gonna have to have a drink. I can't. I just can't right now.
Laszlo looks over at Pico and just kind of carefully sit down and looks up. Some hot water, please.
Yes, continue, Sam.
Pico sits down as well and notices he seems a little disgruntled. I see. Are you very busy right now? You seem. We don't want to be a bother. We just wanted to get some sundries, and we could be out of your hair.
Just sit down. I can help you. I can get you a drink until I can make sure the medicine that this guy wants is ready. But please just sit down at the table. Okay, just please sit down. And his eyes keep darting back and forth. Eventually, someone comes in from the back of the tavern. They bring a glass of hot water, a glass of cold water. Do you guys want any of the ale as well?
Nanny kind of pulls out a little tea bag and just puts it in Laszlo's hot water, and then just kind of starts kind of cooing, kind of stroking his hair. Like, calm down, little boy. Calm down, little boy.
How about you, Sam? Do you want any of the alcohol in the bar?
Puka will kind of like hold their water and like look at what's on tap. Just be like, this is very good. Thank you.
So he just kind of shakes his head and goes, yeah, we got good ale. We got spiced ale. We got a stronger ale. If you want something a little more powerful, we got some liquor. We got some good stuff on the shelf. We'll get you the starting ale. Someone from the back again comes back with another drink. The bartender has been staring at everyone else at the bar, has not actually served you directly. Everyone in the back is coming out, placing your drink, and leaving immediately. It is still dead quiet in this bar as everyone has their drink in their hands and hunched over and drinking quietly to themselves.
Laszlo looks over at Pico and goes, so how did you all survive your encounters?
Well, I'm very fast. I assume everyone else was fast enough. It's a shame, really. The others didn't make it out.
I would not be surprised if we were the only survivors.
Well, I know you would rather leave immediately, and I would too. I say, but that family seemed relatively normal, and in your state, I don't think we're getting out of here without assistance.
Before everything went pear-shaped, we found we were able to find something interesting with the mayor.
What was it? What was that?
Not everything's not what it seems. We even found a map. It was made of human skin. It was made out of skin. It was made out of skin. And they ate it.
Oh. Was that necessary?
It was a hunger. It was just some creature. I dare not speak its name. As soon as I spoke its name, everything went crazy. It went crazy.
Well, maybe we can gather some more information. I don't know if the bartender wants to talk much, but can Puko look around and see if there's any distinguishing features about the other bar patrons, if like they're responsive to like a hey or anything like that?
Laszlo kind of quickly, like surprisingly in his state, kind of just grabs Pico's shoulders.
Well, before we get to Michael, before we get there, I wanna let Pico do the thing. So yeah, go ahead and if you wanna look around, make a perception check to kind of see your environment and kind of glean off of it.
Oh my gosh, that's another one.
Okay. You see, there is the whole room is kind of this unusual silence. It's very tense. A very tense sort of quiet where no one looks happy. They're drinking in absolute silence, shoulders hunched, beer at their face. If they are making eye contact with someone, it is just to the left of their face, not directly at them. And they just sit there in quiet. You can see there's someone just to the other end of the bar. The only movement in this dead quiet powder keg of a bar, tavern, if you will. And they're moving to get up with a drink in their hand. They're trying to, I guess, relocate their body to their part of the bar, to their seat that's open. And just as you notice this, I need both you and Laszlo to make a reflex save.
Come on.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
11.
Okay. So, Laszlo, you have this moment where you kind of follow the Tengu's eyes and you look just in time with a bit of a snap gesture. You're very much on edge. And you see this individual lose their footing, trip, and their ale leaves their hand entirely, cup and the drink itself. You're able to see this, and with a snap reaction, you move yourself out of the way of the flying drink with the alcohol contents inside. Puko's not so lucky. The minute you finally get the grasp of what's happening, it's too late. The alcohol is already in midair. Your eyes blink in panic, and you are now very wet and cold and sticky as this alcohol just slams onto your body, ruining your clothes and making your feathers sticky and heavy. I now need both of you to make a willpower DC. Well, I'll tell you after the check. Give me a willpower save.
Really quickly, would it be possible for me to cast guidance on Pico?
Nope. Give me a willpower save.
All right.
That's better. That's better.
I got a 23.
19.
Okay. We got a 19 and a 23. Okay. So 19 and a 23. As you feel the alcohol sting and stick to your feathers, Sam, you can feel this real personal grudge start to pick up. You see the alcoholic assailant was a clumsy moron already too deep into his cups. And your voice in your head just starts running. This man, he should have known better. He knows how he gets when he's had a few with this useless mess. This man needs some damn self-control, Robert. You have been around this stupidity for too long. You've been given too many damn chances, this moron. This fuck up from the neck up. This God-be damned burden is a pain in your ass, and you're getting sick and tired of sitting around and seeing that this work on your face. You can feel this personal resentment for a total stranger that you've never known as your legs suddenly spring to their feet from the stool, and you really don't even remember you're sitting in, and you hear this voice, this idiot guy going, "Oh, I'm sorry, John." You suddenly realize you and this other person standing up right behind you the other person that was caught in the beer splash, standing side by side. And you look at the bartender, who suddenly jumps into position, and he gains attention like he's judge and jury. The bartender looks at the man who has spilled drinks, Robert, with a dark expression. And he looks at him with such sorrow in his eyes as he nods to John. You. Yes. John's chest, your chest ignites like a firework, adrenaline pumping to the base of your brain like a diesel engine, roaring in fury, belching thick smoke. Suddenly, John grabs his own mug and begins to descend upon Richard with violent and unrelenting fury, the glass breaking bone. Blood from a broken and tattered nose begins to spray. The patrons finally show some emotions. They shout. They're shouting, "Kill him! Kill him, John! Don't stop! Don't stop! He's not dead yet!" And you can feel your legs, Sam. Your legs are moving to the door that you entered. As the bartender begins to scream, "Damn it, John! If you're gonna kill him, do it outside!" Sam, I need one more willpower save.
I'm a nice bird. Ooh, okay. Math. Well, I'm just gonna do the calculator and not attempt math on my own.
Learn from my mistakes of last week.
That is a 25.
Okay. John grabs Robert by what's left of him and drags his bleeding body outside of the city streets. Your eyes seem to follow John as he drags Robert through the threshold. In every other step, he keeps pounding him for vengeance. As he leaves into the cold street, the door slams shut in front of you. Your vision focuses on the door as the door seems to get larger and larger in your vision. You can hear the other patrons banging on the glass like animals in a cage. They shout, "Yeah, John! Yeah, John, the curb! The curb, John!" Right. Their empty cups banging on the window like a heartbeat from a race. Suddenly there's a shout as if fans of a sport watching a goal being scored. Uproar. The energy dies back down to a tense silence. The door slams wide open and only John comes walking back in, panting, covered in blood. He goes back to the counter, and as he does, you sharp intake of breath as you're standing still in your seat, covered in the sticky, dry ale. As you gather your senses back, the room seems exactly as it was before this vision, sight, feeling. Whatever it was before it took a hold of you, and you look behind you and John sits peacefully drinking his ale. But Robert's gone. Robert is naught but a bloodstain on the lacquered wooden floor of a dead, quiet tavern. And you are now standing in a dead, quiet tavern.
Okay. So, I'm going to try something. And so, Puko's saying this as quietly as possible to Laszlo. I'm going to try something to get us our sundries, and then we need to leave immediately. All right.
Laszlo just go. Sorry.
No, go.
No, Laszlo just kind of rocking back and forth, like a horrified look on his face, and just kind of nods. Yes, let's go.
Okay. So Puko is going to attempt to charm the bartender. Cast
Okay.
charm.
All right. You and Michael both are under the sickened one condition. And this sickened one condition cannot be relinquished with any saves and will last until the end of the episode. So, as you make this roll, actually, no, it's a save on my end. So, what's the DC to beat for charm?
It is a will save, and I'm assuming that is against. I thought I had this written down. Is that like against my spell bonus?
Yep. Your spell DC. So if you are trained in it and you have a Charisma 4, you should be about a 16, 17 at this point.
Okay, yes, it would be. My charisma's 3, so that's what, 15?
Level 2 should be 16.
16, got it.
Okay. He fails. So you cast charm on the bartender, who has just, you can see his knuckles bulging as veins protrude from his skin, gripping the bones of his hands like what little vines keep rocks still attached to the trees as he just grips the edge of his bar, and he looks at you. How do you charm him?
I puff my feathers up a bit, and I hold up my drink, and I say, "Dear bartender, this is a delight. Compliments to you, and mostly to you. This is fantastic. You know, if we could just get those sundries, the med kits, I would like to immediately go tell all my friends that how fantastic you are, and hopefully, that should give you some good reviews on the books. The books, the books. What do you say?"
The bartender's head snaps to you. Yeah, good review. Don't tell anyone outside of town. This bar's too full. It's too damn full. Sarah! Bring them what they need. What's that? We're out? How can we be out? No one lives long enough. All right, fine, we'll take it. Best I could do is a few bandages. Sorry. Very nice.
That's fantastic. We'll do with those.
Good. Drinks on the house. Mind the mess on your way out. And get out of here now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He hands you a small package wrapped in burlap. And he just points to the door immediately.
Laszlo, let's go.
Hey, Laszlo just kind of just scampers, like follows her like a puppy, with Nanny kind of just trailing behind him, like just like dee 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 dee.
Give me a perception check, both of you.
Come on. Okay, 15.
24.
As you leave the Hearth and Home Tavern, you can't help but seeing what's left of Robert's face, like caved-in hamburgers sticking to the curb, the low curb on the way to the Home and Hearth. You can make sure from the side, the backside of his head, maybe a foot or a hand did the dirty work. Robert's corpse is now stuck in the middle of the road. And as you look at this unfortunate victim, you can't help but see a candlelight flickering somewhere down the road. And that's where we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be back at 9:45 for the second act of Nightmare of Doltonshire, episode 2. So look forward to seeing you in 5 minutes. Hopefully it wasn't too intense. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just right. See you then, guys. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to part 2 of episode 2. We are going to skip ahead and have the players reconvene around the corpse of a stranger in the middle of the street. Really fast, before we continue, Kylie, you took a forge hammer to the head. I need you to write down 8 damage to your character player sheet.
Dear Lord.
You're not dead.
You're not dead.
God bless.
8 HP short. So, the 4 of you have now reconvened, 5 if you count Dear Nanny, around the corpse of Robert. Well, what 2 of you know to be Robert, in the cold cobblestone street of the city main, by the tavern, the home and hearth. What do you do?
Well, first thing, as soon as they kind of move out of sight of the windows of the tavern, Puko will get out the bandages and see if they can assist Laszlo any more than they had already been healed.
Regrettably, you cannot attempt to heal him again with a medicine check for at least an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Michael.
Would I be able to heal myself?
With a medicine check? No.
Okay.
No. However, you can attempt to heal Lucinda with a medicine check.
I will do so.
And she's like touching her head, like, ow. Ow.
Don't
Like definitely seeing blood.
touch it. You don't want to do that. Give me a second.
Can I cast guidance?
If you want to, it's a +1.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
The +1?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm casting. Laszlo's casting guidance on Pico.
Thank you. That is a 16.
Okay. So, Sam, roll 1d6.
1d6. That's 1.
Get 1
I'll take
HP
it.
back. Yeah. Hey, it's 1 HP better than it was before you saw the Tengu. So, with your head trauma gently addressed, you are now all meeting together. What do you do?
Laszlo kind of whispers something to Nanny in the area where a person's ear would be. And he's basically telling her to go kind of search Robert's pockets and stuff.
Okay. So Nanny goes.
He's seeing back. Laszlo himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Nanny is checking the body of the corpse, the cadaver in the street. She pulls out absolutely nothing of interest. Some lint, maybe a few extra gold coins or whatever coins he would buy a drink with. There's nothing else of interest on this man's body.
Okay.
Yes. Sidney?
Oh, I just was going to ask. I was just going to ask Omri if they found anything while they were in the forge, if they took anything of note while they were slithering around and got all dirty and cute.
So your snake friend proceeds to kind of look you in the eye, and you can kind of hear this voice, and it says, I have looked into the dark files of the Foundry. I did not see anything of interest. A bunch of sweaty dwarves angry at work, a bunch of fire and oil, grease and dirt and soot. And of course the giant forge yourself. I did not see anything else of interest.
Thank you for your work as always, my friend. and then she's going to like hood the little snake head. She's gonna like just boop over the head and get some soot off of it because he's a dirty little snake.
Kind of shakes his nose and just goes, bon oui, bon, oui, thank you. Merci. So I guess the question is, do you compare notes? Do you try to figure out what's happening in this city? What do you do next?
Laszlo kind of turns to the group, kind of like he's kind of just shaking back and forth and just like, this town is cursed. We went through the records, the town records. We found the mayor. She made some dark bargain. We need to be away from this place. Away from this place.
So you're telling me that you knew that this town was cursed and you didn't say anything before we went back in?
I wasn't going to say anything with that family around. I don't trust them.
Well, now it's getting kind of hard to trust you, isn't it?
I don't know about you people, but I want out of here. The only way we will survive is if we leave this place as soon as possible.
Listen here, my friend. I see your concern, and I feel it too. There is something in this town that is not normal. We know this. We've experienced it hands-on at this point. However, I'm not leaving. I came here to do a job. I met a very nice family who it would be very rude to leave high and dry after they offered us hospitality. You are more than welcome to do whatever you would like. It is your life. It is yours. Only yours. But I, for one, know you would not last 5 minutes without another person.
How can you all be so calm about this? How can you be all so calm? It's like everybody's gone mad.
May, it looks like you're the only mad one here.
I would argue I'm not calm. It's the beak tends to give a little bit of a stoicism. I'm not calm at all. I agree. We could die quite easily here. So if we must to stick together, finish the job, do we have any leads? Because we should get it over with as quick as possible, and then we can leave. We can do both, and not die.
Well, our friend did just bring up the mayor.
She's one of them. Oh, God. They ate them all.
Point of order. Didn't the mayor die last time?
The mayor was wounded mortally and was felled in combat. However, as Ian was in charge of the horde at the time, the death of Helen and Dalton IV did not stop the horde from chasing you. That being said, if you'd like to, you can make perception check, you can make an occult check, you can make a local lore check, you can make any check that you'd like to. Keep in mind, you've only been to 2 places, and there's 2 other places you can go to for answers as to what the heck is happening in the city main.
Mm. I'm guessing it's not time to go to the family yet.
It's only been maybe 30 minutes to an hour. It's not quite dark yet.
Okay.
What was the skills you say we could roll?
Anything you can do, a local lore, perception, survival, whatever you feel is good for a city, knowing a city and moving around things.
That is a 23 for a cult.
Kylie, killing it, my man.
Damn.
I'm gonna use my use schooled in secrets to use my occultism to see like the symbols, the signs, the crazy conspiracy theorist stuff.
Absolutely. Let me know what that occult check is when you're ready.
I went with just straight up cult lore.
Okay, what was your check?
17.
17. All right. Sam, what was your check?
I did a survival, and that was a 21.
21. Okay, so 17. All right, and Michael, what was your roll again?
25.
25. What? Okay.
One away from a natural 20.
So going in order, Sidney, Colt, your study of cults show that they prefer to have a centralized recurring location, meaning that if there's going to be one headquarters, it's going to be that exact same headquarters wherever it's going to be. That way there's safety in familiarity. So you're kind of thinking to yourself, if I was going to put a cult base in the city, where would it be? It would have to be someplace safe, familiar, and easily recognizable, but also blending in. So you're kind of weighing the details right now. And there's a few different options that you're weighing. Of course, the house of the Aspichibi kind of gives you something to hold on to. But knowing what Laszlo said about the mayor, you're thinking that if the mayor did do this, then maybe there's something about this government body that may have some answers to you. Sam, survival. Looking around the city streets, you're kind of tracking the footwork, and you see the footwork about the city is very sporadic. The kind of chilled, cold stone eventually losing the footprint, but you do see that there's only one place with absolutely 0 foot traffic, and that would be in the direction of Town Hall, the city main Town Hall. Michael and Kylie, because you guys were like right neck and neck, occultism. You know that occults tend to work in this idea of family, taking this greater collective and using that mentality to build and bond trust with absolute strangers, and in that build and bond, break them from the holds of reality and instill in them this new message, this new programming. Whatever occultism would be of this city, it would have to be the same across all parts, which means whatever's going on here is so drastically different from whatever is happening just down the road. If down the road everyone is working to eat you, then that means whatever's happening here has to be different. And where would the source of that different be coming from? So that's all the information you kind of pull together with your head. The question is, what do you do?
Puko relays the information about the town hall being the only place where it doesn't seem like anybody has been.
Laszlo is just kind of rocking back and forth, like looking, like his eyes kind of darting from shadow to shadow. If there's any like movement, even from like stray cats or rats, he's like, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's just, oh God. Everything is connected. Everything's connected. They made some sort of bargain with something dark, something from the nethers, something from the void, something from the dark, something whispered back, something replied.
I think the mistake you're making here, friend, is only assuming that it was one thing. You said something about town hall.
Yes. It doesn't seem like anybody in town has been there recently, and from what Laszlo told me, and when they found information about the city down in that, was it an abandoned library? Maybe we should go there. On one hand, if no one's there, no one will try to kill us. On the other hand, maybe we can get some information about what's happening.
Don't trust
I think you make a very valid point. Lucinda, do you have any feelings on the matter?
Well, we could go to City Hall. Could get killed there too, but honestly, and she looks at the tavern and then where they had just come from for Foundry. Honestly, at this point, we could die anyway. So she's gonna go over as Laszlo's having this mental breakdown and just like slaps him on the back and like grasps his shoulder. It looks like we're going to town hall, and like begins to walk in front with like Laszlo still like grasped in her hand.
Don't trust the family. Don't trust the family. Don't trust the family. Don't trust anyone.
So it looks like we're going to town hall then.
Okay, so you go up one of the many branching paths off the main route, if you will. And eventually you start to realize that your footprints, the only footprints kind of breaking the stone cold pattern of the streets. And then you find the city hall and you enter. The once noble building of a mayor. Its political interests in town security now seems deathly vacant. The echo of your footsteps bound and resonate as the eulogy for democracy is now in this casket of a building. Any investigating, you can tell, will be difficult as the entire room appears to be overturned. Books ripped in half and thrown about, pages strewn. Bookshelves are knocked down to the ground. Paintings from the wall lay on the ground in broken frames and ripped canvases. Chairs had their frames smashed, their leather upholstery torn, and their fillings seems strewn in a frenzy. But over this testament to violence, there's a thick veneer of dust, resting long with the time and the debris. Everyone make a perception check.
In addition to perception check, would also like to cast Detect Magic, my cantrip.
Go right ahead. I will tell you right now, before you roll that perception, that there is no magic in this room.
Got it.
24.
All right, 24 from Michael.
I got a 16.
Okay, 16, Sidney. Kylie, what'd you get?
8.
8. Okay. Sam, what'd you get?
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Okay. So, Sam and Michael, you see, as you're looking around this large building, down a long hallway just off to your left in this massive building, you see a dim, flickering candlelight coming from the long end of the hallway.
Zach.
You want to? Yeah.
Lazlo's just kind of like with his shaking hands, kind of like points at the direction of where the candlelight is. What's that?
Why do somebody have a real big weapon who can go check that out?
Everyone looks at Lucinda. The only fighter in the group.
She looks around at everyone. Oh no, sorry, love. I have a 4-year-old at home. I can't go in there. No. Good try though. I can provide you light. I have torches, but no.
Amren is gonna go up to I don't know why the two scaredy cats. He's gonna go up to
I'm a bird, thank you.
I'm a bird. I'm sorry. I did not mean.
I'm almost dead, you know.
That's true. I'm going to go up to the both of you and what did you see and where?
Laszlo's just pointing where he saw the candle. The candle. Not like Nanny's candle. Not like Nanny's candle. Candle.
Amren is going to walk over to where the candle was, and every time she takes a step, she's going to snap and cast Spark, her cantrip, every time she snaps.
Give me a perception check.
That is a 19.
Not the first. No, not the second. On the third time you snap your fingers, and that spark of light sizzles and fades, creating whatever light it can before it pops and hides behind the heavy veil of shadow. Your eyes are caught to something. In the split second of that pop and that fizzle and that fade, you see on the wall to your left, carved in large, aggressive, and jagged letters from a knife, the words, "Why are we so cold?" Down the way, you snap again, not 4, not 5, 6. Pop, sizzle, fade. You see again in big letters, angry knives dragging across the walls. I just want to freeze. When you follow the dimly lit candle, you find you are now in the mayor's office, and it is in a violent disarray. The heavy lacquered desk is thrown to the side of the west wall, shattered in half. Bloodstains, long dried to a muddy black, mar the carpets, walls, and the 20-foot-high ceiling. Corpses, molding halfway through decomposition, litter the room in positions of fear and self-defense, and attached to the wall with steel cables, railway spikes, and rivet bolts is the corpse of a man. Beneath the man is a small, lit candle, and blood drawn into an unusual symbol. It is impossible to know how fresh the blood is, as it is still bubbling in a low hiss. Carved into the wall above the corpse of the man, in harsh penmanship of whatever mob did this violence, in large letters it reads, It's fine.
I get nervous when you do clicking. I was waiting
I
for something
know.
to come out.
I heard the clicking too. I was like,
Michael, did you want to say something?
Yeah. So just Sidney sees us. We're still all back there, like scaredy cats.
Yeah, this is
Scaredy
only
birds.
Sidney. Unless you guys want to walk into the room. Right now, this is all that Sidney sees. Sidney,
Okay.
you are in this room, and until I hear otherwise, alone with the corpse of a man hanging by steel cable, rivets, and railway spikes hung into the wall. This little weird candle lit, this blood and the symbol that's bubbling still, and these corpses that are just molding and old in states of defense. And giant jagged letters from the same knife that you saw, which you can assume from the cut, the words, "It's fine."
Okay.
What do you do?
I am going to use I'm going to use discern secrets.
Mhm.
I'm going to use just seek. And I am going to approach the candle.
Okay. And it looks like we have temporarily lost Kylie. Don't worry, she will be back. You are approaching the candle.
Mhm.
You are trying to put secrets or discern secrets of the candles, is correct?
Yes.
Give me an occult check.
Yay, awesome. Great. This is good. That is a 27.
I'm sending you a private message. One second, Michael. You sense that there is something very important about this candle, very important about all of this. All of this is put on display for someone.
Okay. Amren is going to. Oh dear. Okay. Amren is going to leave the room. Well, actually, first, can she look for a map that's not made out of human flesh? Can she look around the room for a map of the city?
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, that's like a 14.
14. You can tell this room is one of office and station. There definitely isn't any maps in here. You see books, you see what's left of books and what's left of an office.
Okay. She's going to promptly GTFO and go back to the group if she can.
Give me a willpower save.
I knew it. I knew it. Okay. Hold up. My willpower is really high. That is a dirty 20.
120. Okay. 1 second. As you begin to leave the room, you suddenly realize you're not in your own body. You are instead at a desk. A wonderful desk. You can hear a scream. Suddenly you look up and you see the door in front of you. The door to your office is bulging and slamming with a loud sound. Again and again. And you can hear your own voice shout, "Stop! Please, I'm working on it!" And the sound just gets louder and louder as you see the door to your room, bulge, shake, slam, until finally it breaks open and you can see hundreds of people that you know by name dragging with them a body, and they're screaming at you, dragging this body. They're yelling as they brandish knives and torches. And you just keep screaming and begging them, "No, stop it. I'm working on it. I'll fix it, I promise." And hordes of people grab your desk and with an unruly strength, fling it until it flies like so much garbage, flies your desk in your position of mayoral office, shatters along the wall. And you start fighting and kicking and screaming as this horde of bodies, this mob, starts grabbing at you until all of the light slowly dims. And then you look, and as you're fighting off bodies left and right, you can see the body they're dragging through into your office. It's your oldest son. And you just keep screaming, "I'm working on it. I'll stop it. I don't know why it's so cold." And they just keep screaming at you, "Why are we so cold? Why are we freezing?" As their hands slowly close around your face, and as the last sound you hear as everything goes dark is the sound of the man you know was your oldest son screams in pain. The last things you hear whispered into your voice as everything goes black is a simple reply: "Don't worry, it's fine." And with that, your eyes come back as you're about to step out of the office. And as you look to the body of the man pinned to the wall, the cadaver long since punished, you see his head stand up straight. He has 2 mouths that spread across his face, eyes just vacant, empty, and black, like burned charcoal. And his 2 mouths scream in agony. They keep screaming. They say nothing, but they just keep screaming, the both of them, stretching his head to impossible limits to express to you the pain and the anger. And the candle flickers. And now you're back to your own senses as the body continues to scream this horrible pain wail, the likes of which must rattle the muscles of your throat. What do you do?
Get the heck out of Dodge.
Okay. So you leave the room immediately, just split off.
Gone.
Gone.
Gone. Gone.
Everyone else at the end of the hallway, back in the main area of City Hall, all you see is Amrin walking, freezing immediately, standing, eyes going dilated as she sees what I've just described. And the minute her senses come back to her, the body hanging on the wall whips up, two mouths, and you can hear the scream from where you're standing, this horrendous scream of pain and anguish. Like a spotlight on a crime, like a flashlight on your sins, like the door being ripped wide open and all these hands pointing and saying, look, and you're stuck in the dark, quiet, covered in dust, the ripped apart books, the disregarded and disgraced bookshelves. And Amron starts walking to you. What do you do?
What do you see?
You're right. Are you okay? What was that? What was that?
I'm glad you did not come with me. And we need to leave now.
Okay.
Leave. I always keep saying, we need to leave. We need to leave.
TJ, what was the last place we haven't visited yet?
The only place you haven't visited yet is the Bureau of Complaints. The complaints and the complaint registry, yeah.
Everyone's go to the baker or something.
That's how you get meat pies, Kylie. No.
Oh no!
I don't want any pies from this town.
Okay. I have to file a complaint.
So many.
When will this end?
Go.
When will this end? When will this end?
Amren is going to storm out of the building and head directly to the complaints office.
Following.
Okay, so we go to the complaints office. Let me find my notes for the complaint office really fast. There we go. Mm-hmm.
PJ, I was wondering, is it possible for me to ready a spell right now? Or does it have to be?
Yes, however, it doesn't have to be in combat. However, you cannot ready a spell walking about unless you have a very specific trigger that could be happening relatively quickly.
Okay. Well, my trigger would be anything other than our party jumps out at us.
That's fair. I will allow that, but I will say your walk to the city collections and complaints registry goes unmolested. So it's fine. You don't lose a spell. You didn't cast it. It's fine. Mm-hmm. So you four get to this large, it's basically like a city office of sorts. It seems abuzz with human activity. Lots of handlers and accountants running around holding papers, folders, etc. Most of the town is out in droves, filed into different single queues, many lines buzzing with energy, like the drones of an ant colony. The clerks, handlers, and accountants all seem to be buzzing as well, themselves in a tiny space. As some of the clerks are face to face with citizens, it is then you can see that the workers here are doing their work behind a series of steel bars between them and the citizens. The clerks sit painfully on a stool, shrinking and nodding, their head wincing and agreeing in pain to the words of citizens at the front of the line. Listening closely, it appears there's no real business being conducted, just a fusillade of verbal abuse and condemnation. It seems becoming quite clear the bars may not be there. I'm sorry, the bars are there for the clerk's own protection. You can barely hear the last few words of two people at the front of the queue line just shouting, "We have been waiting in this line for 2 hours. How dare you make us wait?" Terribly sorry, but we have many people in queue today. That's not good enough. How dare you make us wait this long? This is ridiculous. How stupid are you? Terribly sorry. We've had these waits for hours today. How can we help? Are you calling us liars? No, please. I never said that. This is the worst service we have ever had here. This is unacceptable. To which the whole room becomes louder and louder with complaints and demands until the hot air of their combined breath starts to suck the oxygen out of the room. And everything gets warmer. Trying to talk to anyone, trying to see what's happening here seems rather difficult. What do you do?
Puko looks around and then looks at the group and says, I thought this might have been a good idea a while ago, but I'm starting to think maybe we just write a letter.
PJ, has an hour now passed since we last used the medicine thing on me?
I'm gonna say getting close.
Okay.
By the end of the scene, you can probably use it again.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lazo just kind of looks at everything and just kind of whispers, "Oh God, this is madness. Madness."
Amren is going to. Is there a free clerk, or is there just the line is just insane?
You can see there are 5 lines. Each line is insane. So insane that there are people actually cluttering the back walls and the side walls because they have nowhere else to stand. They are crowded. I hate to use the metaphor, but they're crowded in like a stampede for Black Friday sales.
So here's the deal. I will use a perception check for this. Is there any way to get into the back without getting detected?
Good question. Just looking at this room and how crowded it is, you can tell that the only way, this is just from a casual glance, the only way to get anywhere close to the clerk's desk or to move around these people, you're just going to have to basically run through them. If you all want to make a perception check or any other sort of checks, you are also free to do that at this point in time.
Really quick, can I get a clarification on a spell?
What's the spell?
Read aura.
All right.
I just want to know whether I just perceive what I read, or does everybody else, it's obvious everybody sees the aura or something?
It would just be you. If you cast a spell, it would just be you reading the aura.
Okay. I'm going to cast Read Aura on one of the people that's talking to whoever's behind, one of the clerks.
Sure. Specifically speaking, are you looking for any sort of magic or influence with this Read Aura?
Yeah, I'm actually looking for influence, especially any kind of enchantment or something like that.
You detect nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
This is
really fast. I'm so sorry, Sam. I see your hand up.
Oh, was Sidney completing something that she started earlier? Okay. So Puko is going to use a cantrip, and this is ghost sound. So it's an auditory illusion.
Okay.
So it's loud enough, volume equal to 4 normal humans shouting, and it's going to sound like it's coming from above, as if it was a fantasy intercom. And the following, okay. Attention, everyone. You've been waiting for such a long time. Good news! A new, shorter line has formed outside behind the building. If you can all proceed to outside behind the building, we will be able to take care of your complaints incredibly quickly. Hurry now, hurry. You don't want to be the last there. That's it.
Oh, okay. Give me a deception check.
Okay.
Can I aid her?
I guess.
Yes, guidance and aid. So before you roll, you're gonna get a +1 from the guidance. Sidney, roll that aid.
18.
Okay. So Sam, you're gonna be rolling with a +2.
Okay, +2 overall? Okay.
Yeah, +2. Well, on top of everything else for the deception. So
Okay. I got good deception, so come on, dice. Oh. I rolled a 2 on the die phase.
You're a
Okay, so a few things here.
okay. Okay.
My bonus is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Mhm.
Also, if it comes into play, my ancestry feat will come into play if I critically fail a deception check. Did I critically fail this?
You did not critically fail. That would have to give you a 1 on the die face.
Okay.
But I'm gonna need a willpower save from you.
Okay. Okay, that is a 15.
Okay. Sam, as you say these words, the crowd looks up into the air like wild animals responding to stimuli. They trace the sky in the air until their eyes look behind them and they see, standing among them, a stranger. A mob of people, blood-faced and enraged. They look at you, Sam. They all look at you, blood-faced and enraged, and they storm you like wasps from a hive. You can see them, Sam. They storm all around you, their anger and hateful demands becoming so cacophonous they drown together to make one loud sound. A stampede of words. When your senses seem to return, you feel like you're in a small chair and that your mouth is gagged, but the people are still around you, buzzing. And they're screaming insults at you, lancing you with complaints and issues and making you constant threats and unending demands. You can feel that you want to do everything in your power to help them or flee or scream, but as you do, nothing comes out of your mouth. Nothing can possibly escape your throat. They slowly creep up like a panther stalking his prey in the night. Their voices rumble low, rising. You pathetic, useless failure. Why can't you help us? Why can't you do better? Why aren't you better for us? The mob of the townsfolk continue hurling their insults at your constant mediocrity and inefficiency. They come up to you and they put hands on you on your clothes and they look to your face and say, I can't believe this is happening. I have never experienced this before. And they rip your shirt. They tear at your sleeves. Why would you do this to me? They proceed to tear your sleeves from the hems, rip your collar, and remove badges from your uniform. What are you going to do for me? They proceed to rip and pull at your hair. They tug at your feathers. They pluck at your eyes. I can't believe you're treating me this way. I should have something because of this. I should have something. They keep screaming. They keep demanding. One of them grabs you by your arms and they start pulling hard, pulling harder. You can feel your shoulder giving out. The muscles are burning. The joints are starting to stretch, ripping past their socket bones, snapping, tendons fraying, curling from the bone and muscle. You feel your arms being ripped off inch by bloody inch. And as they all scream, "This is unacceptable and I deserve this," as the light of the world comes back to you suddenly. Look at your arms. They're still attached, but they're shaking from the mental trauma and the onslaught. What the hells did you just go through? And for what? You look, and sure enough, there is 2 eyes per every beady red face staring at you in rage. The audacity of you. They all hate you on a primal and foreign level. And as you catch your breath, as this horde of rage and entitlement just finally flees your senses, and your shaking can barely stop, you can tell something's not right in the back of your skull. Whatever sickened you were watching John demolish Robert behind a closed door, the rage of an unending horde of constant greed and the pain that it causes has left you in a deeper sense of sickening. You are now sickened too the rest of this episode. And there's something else ticking. And the nervous twitch in the back of your head. And the tense jaw that keeps your beak on. Something new is ticking inside you. However, for the first time in what has probably been days, the room is silent.
It didn't work.
They all look at you. They slowly turn back to the queue. And what feels like minutes, the shouting starts again. As people cry for more and spit in rage.
Ren is going to turn to you, Sam, and she is going to cast Unbreakable Heart. Unbreakable Heart targets a creature and gains a +4 morale bonus on saving throws against mind-affecting effects that rely on negative emotions, such as crushing despair, rage, or fear, or that would force them to harm an ally, such as confusion. If the target is already under such an effect when receiving this spell, that effect is suppressed for the duration of the spell. It does not affect mind-affecting effects based on positive emotions, such as good hope. A creature can still be charmed, otherwise magically controlled, while under this spell's effect, but if such a creature ever receives a new saving throw against that effect as a result of being ordered to attempt to harm or otherwise oppose a true ally, they can roll a saving throw twice and take the better result as the actual roll.
Tell me the tale of what visions, what grace and hope you try to put in her heart after what you can only imagine was a horrendous onslaught to her peace.
There was once a little girl who had very bright eyes for a very dark world. And that little girl grew up in a town, not like this, but close enough. But That little girl found a home behind an open door. One cracked just a sliver so that she could peek inside. And you know what she saw? She saw hope. Hope in this world that is so dark. But you never know the possibilities until you open the door. I am so sorry. I don't know what you saw. I'm sorry that you're here. But what we are trying to find is that door and that hope. And you are so brave for being here. Thank you. Thank you for trying. You've given me hope. And we can do this together.
As this story, as this message plays, not just in front of you, but inside you, in your heart and the back of your mind, some of the shaking, some of the rattling that you can feel from what can only be described as minutes, hours, who knows how long, within the fraction of seconds of use, it washes away. You're still sickened 1 out of sickened 2, but you can feel the screams and the rage and the seething judgments and expectations of strangers flitter off of your back a little bit more. Some part of you is still holding on to that, as would all our minds, but it's a little easier now. You're all still in the complaints registry as these people who have been silent for the first time in possibly days, for a matter of maybe 30, 45 seconds, are now turning back their old ways of yelling at these clerks. You can make a perception check, or you can try to barrel through these people to get to the clerk. Choice is yours.
All of us, or
Going. Listen, y'all. Listen, y'all pick. I have done so much picking this episode, and I don't know. I don't know anymore.
really quick, it's just a door, right?
What's a door?
That we're trying to get through. Was it the door?
No. That was Sidney giving kind of a metaphor and a message of hope to Sam.
Yeah.
There's no door in this room other than the door to get either out or the door of human bodies to get closer to the counter.
Okay.
The choice is yours.
Actually, I have an idea. Lazo's gonna Can Lazo try to lock eyes with one of the clerks? And I want to cast message.
It's difficult, but after a few awkward minutes of like you do get eyes and you can get a message across.
Okay. He's gonna ask what's going on here? Like, what the hell is all of this?
He responds, "I'm so sorry, sir, but I have a very long queue. I please recommend that you wait until your turn has arrived. I apologize for the inconvenience. We're so sorry."
Okay, Lazo looks to the rest of the group. I tried communicating with one of them. It's as if they're under some sort of spell, some kind of dazed, like it's pure bureaucracy.
Why you gotta make it so real, Michael?
Does anyone else want to do anything else? Perception checks or anything? I will take 2 more actions before the next event.
Puko. Oh, go ahead.
No. I just went, oh no, 2 more actions till the next event. You go.
Puko looks at Laszlo. Is like, yes, bureaucracy can be very effective to get things done when you have many months of lead time and qualified project managers, but I don't think we're getting that here. I think we need to do something. Lucinda, I know you've got a big weapon and you don't want to use it, but maybe you have some ideas.
Preferably, I would like to go outside and lit a cigarette because this is all a lot. After seeing all this, I don't really want to draw a weapon in here because I don't want to be next. And now she's like really like stressfully like shuffling her cards. Just
cards.
There's gotta be a good one in here for me.
You know what we could. You know what we could do. You know what we could do? You, Kylie. You know what we could do?
Hey.
Reading. Do a reading.
It was a thought. It was a thought.
Do a reading with the cards.
Real quick, Laszlo's gonna just ask, so what are we trying to do?
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, Sidney, you go.
No, you. Go.
Okay. I don't think you're gonna like what I'm gonna do, but it's fine.
We'll find out.
So Lucinda is going to turn to Emran and then the rest of everyone, kind of like a nice long look at me and know what I'm saying. I want you all to think of a question about what you want to gain from being here.
Huh. Well, my idea was that we go in, we break into their records because they have to have complaints on file. And I'm going to look through their records and try and find out how many complaints they've had for supernatural occult instances and perhaps directly affected by the cold.
Dear Lord. I mean, yeah, mate, if you want to.
Anybody else? Oh, yeah, what?
No, I'm just making sure. You want to try and sneak into the files. Does anyone else want to try to do anything else?
I think Puko's still recovering.
I think Laszlo's just kind of just rocking back and forth.
Okay, so
I'm going to read the room.
Okay, give me a perception check to read the room.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Yes! First one of the game.
There we go. It took a while, but we got one. So, nat 20. Okay, so you observe 2 things. You see, the room is very much, every individual here, while they're buzzing like a hive, they're extremely focused on themselves. Everyone in this room, except the clerks, of course. The clerks are entirely, they're in whatever panic, trauma, bonding, survival mode they could be in. But everyone else here is just kind of muttering to themselves about what they want and what they deserve and what they should get. And they're all in their own little headspace. So the room here is very loud and isolated. It's almost like when you go to a convention floor and no one's paying attention to you, and that one guy in the cosplay of Hawkman has the wings and they're getting in everyone's way. It's like that, but multiplied by 1 billion, but then focused to a single point. As you're looking around the room, you also notice something unusual. Above the clerks, on the wall, beyond the bars for the clerks' safety, is this giant bronze plaque. And as you're looking into it, you see what appears to be the face of a man with two mouths open, screaming in pain, eyes chiseled to look like coals, like the coals of a fire. In this face of a man with two mouths and eyes of coal, screaming in agony, seems to be plastered on the wall, like it's some sort of sigil, like it's some sort of government-issued icon, like it's their heraldry with pride. So that's kind of the vibe you're getting in this room right now.
I don't like it. Cool. That is it.
Okay. Michael, what's up?
Is Kylie the only one that notices the sigil and stuff?
She's the only one looking.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna do something dumb.
Do the
But
dumb
I'm
as
gonna
we
give
say.
you but I'm gonna give everyone a heads up that they can run if they want to.
I'm going to count that as in character. Okay. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna start a riot.
Interesting.
Shiona,
choice.
this would be so proud.
Okay.
Ah.
So, what are you doing to start a riot in this complaint registry bureau?
Okay. I want to be very clear that this is how physics works. I don't know if it's
Okay.
physics. The chemistry works. Okay. Omri is still covered in oil and soot. I have spark as a cantrip. I'm going to set my snake on fire
Okay.
and throw it at one of the clerks and yell, "We've been waiting here for too long. Storm the castle."
Okay. I need from you a deception check.
Okay. Just letting you know, the oil's gonna burn off the snake. The snake's not gonna get harmed in this, and this is not gonna get harmed. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not killing my snake. But if they do make it through, they can help me get inside.
Right.
So I gotta pull up I forget what my deception is. It is high. It is high. 22.
2. So as you make sure the oil and the soot is covering a nice thick layer of your little snake, you light him on fire and you throw him and you say your line. You can hear the voice of Henri flying under fire, and almost a sense of solidarity. He says, "Vive les muets! Long live the riots!" And you throw him. As this snake is only to you, completely on board with just lighting some stuff on flame and fire, everyone immediately proceeds to scream in abject terror and shock, and they start making an unruly mob that storms out of there. It is a stampede. I need everyone to give me a reflex save. As easily 50 to 70 people just stomp their way out because of a flaming snake was like "Viva la Revolution!" like in the air.
She is from Faramus.
Got a 19. And that was with -1 sickening, right?
Yeah, it's with -1 sickening.
Okay.
Or sick.
Yeah,
Sickened.
good. Yeah, so yeah, 19.
Okay.
22.
22.
16.
16.
27.
Nice. Yeah, as they stomp out, you are able to, almost like being taken by an undercurrent at the beach or this giant eddy or wave that's about to take out to sea. You start to kind of go under the massive bodies, the sweaty, warm, pink bodies, until eventually kind of you grab hold of something and each of you are able to pull yourselves up. And after what feels like minutes, probably only 30 seconds, a storm of 50 to 75 people have spilled out into the city streets, and they have left the complaint registry empty and barren. The clerks are staring at this snake in an empty room, and they just go, "Can I take my 15?"
Oh, they only get a 15.
Well, Puko knows a good opportunity to have some efficient paperwork done when they see it. So they're going to get back in there and get up to the first clerk they see.
The clerk who's like, "Can I have my 15? No, okay. Tell Tanya I'll take my 15 when I'm done with this client, and then we can switch off." "Hi.
Hello there.
Thank you for coming to the Bureau of Complaints Registry. How can I help you today?"
Yes. We just need some information, and then we'll let you go on your break.
Oh, okay. Thank you for coming to the Bureau of Complaint Registry. What information can we give you today?
Well, we need to know. Sidney, I'll like wave you over and be like, quick, tell them what we need. Tell them what we need.
Yes. Hi. Hello. How are you? This will be very quick, hopefully, fingers crossed. I would like to have a swath of your complaints related to occult circumstances and also complaints related to the cold.
The clerk looks at you blankly and goes, "For clarification, with regards to cult activity, we would really like to have a specific iteration. We are unfamiliar with whatever cult activity you're mentioning, but if there's anything else we can give you, please don't hesitate to ask."
Intimidation check.
Oh God, you poor unfortunate soul. Roll intimidation.
They can't catch a break.
Nat 20!
Oh.
Yes!
What do you say to intimidate this poor unfortunate soul?
I know, I'm so sorry. No, I'm a Karen.
Can I speak to your manager?
Okay. All right. I'm going to go. Hi. You want to know why all those people left? Because of me. All those people left, and I helped you out. If you want to help me out and not get a flaming snake up your ass, give me those files, please.
Ma'am, I apologize. I have never once requested a snake to be placed into my ass. I just have asked you at least on 2 occasions which iteration of occult information you would require for clarification. Which cult information are you referring to? We don't know how to help.
All right, PJ, help me with this.
Okay. Do you want something specific, or do you want to say his name?
I want to say his name, but I don't know how to say his name.
Very fair. Give me a stealth check as you whisper it into his ears.
All right. Oh, I should have printed this out. This is so much time going back and forth between documents. Ooh, it's downloading again because didn't take a picture.
While this is happening, can I have Lucinda stand by the door and like keep guard?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You are full and squared up. Like no one's getting in that tiny door, but who you let in.
How does a 17 do?
That depends. Sam, what is the bonus to your willpower save?
7.
7. Michael, what is the bonus to your willpower save?
8.
Okay. So, you whisper into the ear of this man the word, the name, Grhogisk. Grhogisk, the father of hate and anger, the head of pain and fury. And as you say Grhogisk into his ear, you can almost feel the temperature around him sharply increase until it becomes too painful to be near his face. And as you pull back, you can see he is absolutely ablaze on fire, screaming in pain. He falls to the ground, but he's not falling in that tenseness that you would imagine. He's actually clutching at his throat for some reason. You were all in this room with the only clerk who's trying to help you out, now literally on fires, clutching his throat. What do you do?
Anybody have any water?
Actually, can I cast Read Aura on him? I know it's magical. I want to know what school of magic is in fact
occult.
Okay.
Big time occult, my man. It is, but I don't know if that's I think Read Aura. I'll give it to you regardless. You can tell there's a powerful, very negative, very powerful occult energy that's around him and bursting through him. It's like this cycle of like convection just constantly going in and out.
Okay.
Yeah. And is it a like an enchantment effect or something?
No, not at all. Sam, what's up?
Oh, Puko's just a little in shock. I you know, I don't know if this is working out. Maybe we should leave.
I will say, as you say that, you do see in the back of your head, when the name Grhogisk is mentioned, you can see pitch black, the burst of napalm fire through a small alleyway door. And as the fire plume starts to break from the darkness, you see a face, a man's face, skin red from rage, eyes open up to show coals from a fire pit, two mouths open and screaming in pain. And you know one thing, this Grhogisk has two mouths and they can only scream. And then you kind of come back before you tell them what you're about to say.
We should go.
Do we see we just see the thing on fire, the guy on fire, that's it, right?
Yeah, Michael, you just see the poor clerk on fire clutching at his throat. Kylie, I'm going to be very generous and say you see nothing at all.
Lazo kind of just rambles back, kind of hugs Nanny, and just goes, "Oh God, it's happening again! It's happening again! It's happening! Not again! Not again! Not again! Not again! Not again!"
Amran is going to cast Blood Ward on the clerk.
Okay.
You consolidate warding energies with a gesture, guarding a creature against an attack from a certain type of foe.
Okay. As you cast this on the body, the fire continues to roar, but you see the intensity of which he's clinging his throat kind of stop. And he slowly pulls his chair forward. And while this man is literally ablaze, and you can see the effect on his skin, on his body as the fire burns him, he just says, "Thank you for coming in today. How can I help you?" His head kind of slowly drooping to the right. Second, Michael.
I hate to come in and cause turmoil and then just walk away. I'm at a complete loss as to what I can possibly do to help this person. At this point, I know exactly what we're dealing with, and I don't think I can.
He looks at you, the clerk, and he says, "Ma'am, if there's nothing I can do to help you, I recommend you wait 2 to 3 business days and please file a new complaint when something has arrived. Until then, there may be other people returning to the queue at any point in time. So please, have a lovely day if there's nothing else I can do for you. Thank you for coming to the complaint registry. And may the Father of pain and suffering scream and scream as everything burns on his flesh." Bye.
Can I do a perception check to see if he's undead? Is he an undead? Or is he
He's
human?
not. He is full on human. He is full on burning in front of you.
He's dying right now?
I mean, there's a lot of structural destruction. Yeah, a lot of structural
Okay.
decay, I should say, from the flame.
I'm going to take my dagger and I'm going to slice his throat.
With that, his ever-professional smile does not fade. And he just, through choking as the blood runs through his throat and coagulates somewhere down his chest, he just says, "Have a nice day. Thank you for coming into the office today." He drops.
Oh.
So what do you do now, all of you, in the Complaint Registry Bureau? I'm sorry, the City Main Complaint Registry.
Question: what about the other clerks? What are their reaction to this?
They are looking at this, but they are clearly waiting for the next person to show up in queue.
Okay. Oh. Can I roll a perception to notice the screaming stuff, the screaming sigils?
Oh, the sigil? Yeah, quick perception check.
Okay, roll perception.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
In the meantime, what is the vibe of the room? What do you guys want to do?
Go home.
What Laszlo's been saying the entire time.
I don't know if there's anything for us here. Whatever power they're under has them all. I don't know. We need something. I don't know, but I don't think we're going to find it here.
I really quickly want to give... This is such a mean move. I'm sorry, Michael. I want to give everyone else but Michael a hero point because Michael has coyotes outside his house that have been screaming their head off. And the look of real-world terror as they hear coyote cries was delicious. So everyone, and I'm sorry again, everyone but Michael gets a hero point for the look of terror as the coyotes scream in the background. Michael,
I thought that was me.
I can't control
my
them. I can't
backyard.
control them. I can't control nature. I
It got
wish I
in
could.
here. I was like, it's the scream in the back of your mind.
Wow, PJ with those sound effects.
That's what I thought!
I wish. No, that was Nadir, goddess of nature, giving us the perfect sound effect. Real.
Okay, if I don't get the hero point, can at least where I live get the hero point?
Your house gets a hero point. Yes, you took, but your house is now one more point heroic.
Amren is going to turn around in defeat and walk out.
All right.
Lucinda's gonna look at the clerk, like at least where he was, and then be like, "Well, that sucks," and then just follow and ran out.
Okay. So Michael, what was that perception check?
12.
12. Okay. You don't see it. You see this weird bronze thing, but that's about it.
Okay.
Sam, are you about ready to leave this place?
Oh yeah.
All right. Great. Oh, and by the way, I think it should be said, as you leave, Amran, you're eventually joined at your ankle by this snake who is harmlessly a little dirty from soot and fire. And you hear his voice just say, Vive l'MUA. Like he's just really excited about the riot.
Oh, little murder snake.
So I need everyone to give me a perception check.
21.
All right, 21.
17.
Not 20.
Ooh, nat 20 and 17 from Michael.
13.
Oh, wait. Actually, sorry. I forgot I have sickening, right?
Yeah, so it'd be a 16.
16. And
All
also,
right.
my lore is, so it'd be 12, actually. Because
Okay,
I have
12.
the cult lore.
That's fine. Sam, what was yours again?
13.
13. Okay. Okay. 1 second.
Stress.
We're all still alive.
That's a first.
No!
Too soon.
Damn!
All right.
Like, on cue.
We'll check back in 5 minutes and see if.
Stay tuned.
All right. So, as you leave the office and get back to the city streets, you see the flickering candlelight. It's no longer just a flickering candle. You now see a man standing in the middle of the road, a man entirely engulfed and swallowed by a flame. The only part of his form and body you can see penetrating the veil of thick, churning fire is his eyes as he stares at you. And as this body on flame just passively stands there, standing, you can see his eyes begin to squint with focus. And as he squints, the doors of the city open wide. One by one, the businesses, the homes, the houses, they all slam open and people emerge onto the streets. The entire city comes out as if summoned. And after they do, they start clutching out their throats, crying and shouting swears and words of hate, seething anger, violence. As a flame bursts forth from their mouth, the tongue on fire, they drop to the ground screaming. And then, slowly, they all stand up, their mouth shooting fire, their eyes smoking, the juice of their eyes dripping until nothing is left but charcoal in their eye sockets, flaming charcoal. The man on fire stands there, squinting eyes, staring dead at you, calmly standing as his body's engulfed by fire. And then you can see his body tense, and he moves his face as if to speak, but he has no lips. But then the voice echoes from every voice in the town, screaming, cursing, and swearing in one voice. And in one voice, his voice, they say, Entitled interlopers. And as the whole town stares at you, screaming in his one voice, the man on fire stares at you and sprints at you. His body running as hard as he can on the stone fire. Everyone give me initiative checks based on perception.
13.
13 from Kylie.
Dirty 20.
11.
28.
Damn, Sidney. Okay, Sidney's got a 28. Sam, what's your dexterity? Modifier.
Modifier is 2.
What's your charisma?
3.
Okay. The man on fire proceeds to run. As he's running, the town starts to kind of and they start running after him as fire just starts erupting out of their throats. The first up at bat is Sidney. Sidney,
Oh man.
what do you do against the man on fire?
Alright, this is what she's gonna do. She's going to use Amren to cast magic weapon on her hair. The weapon glimmers with magic energy. Target becomes +1 striking weapon, gaining a +1 item bonus to attack rolls and increasing the number of weapon damage dice to 2. So now my hair does 2d4. She's also going to use her feat 1. No, she can't because living hair is already a feat. Okay. Great. Cool. Yep. All right. 2d4.
All right, roll the damage. Oh, I'm sorry, really fast. Roll to hit first. I apologize. I'm getting
Oh
ahead
yeah,
of
no,
myself.
you're fine. I was thinking, I was like, did I skip a step? I skipped a step. Okay, that is a 2 different documents for things. I can't remember. That's a 16.
16 will miss.
Yeah.
As you try to shoot your hair at him, it gets caught in the singeing fire. That was 2 actions to the buff and 1 to attack, correct?
Yes.
All right. Next up, Sam. The town is now running after you. The man on fire is leading the charge like a living scud missile, ablaze with explosive potential. What do you do?
Do I have a path to where I know the family's house is?
I will give you a free survival check to figure that out quickly as you assess your situation.
Okay. That is a 16.
You know it's behind you and a long way away.
So behind me is the family's house in that direction. Coming towards me is flaming townsfolk.
The man on fire and the townsfolk who have eyes, charcoal for eyes, and their tongues are literally ablaze, and they are running with the man on fire after you.
All right. I am going to cast. Where is it? I just saw it. Come back. Where is it? Fleet Step. And that gives me plus 30 foot bonus to my speed. So I have my base is 25, so that's, I can't do math.
55.
55. I'm booking it.
So the Tengu proceeds to book so fast that a gust of wind follows after her. Befitting, because a burst of fiery flesh is charging right after her. Was that spell one action or two?
This spell is... Where does it say it?
It would be in the description, the name, and then you see 2 arrows, or 1 arrow.
2 arrows.
2 actions.
2 actions.
The Man of Fire is next. The Man of Fire runs, and as he does, you see him punching himself in his own head as hard and as angrily as he can until he crosses his arms and extends his long neck, and a giant cone of fire proceeds to burst forth from his mouth. Everyone but Sam, give me a DC 17 reflex save.
Made it with a 21.
Okay.
17.
17. All right.
21.
Awesome. 1 second. You all take 4 fire damage. You 3 take 4 fire damage, but you are not on fire and nothing is persistent. As the flames lick over your body and almost get to your heart. With that, the Man on Fire will continue to give chase after the bird. And you see him running by you, just running with great purpose for the one that thinks they can get away from hatred. Kylie, give me an attack of opportunity.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Okay. That is a 17 on the
That
die
hits.
face.
That hits. Oh, on the die face. What's the bonus? What's the total?
What are my bonuses for it?
It would be your strength, unless you're using a finesse weapon, which would be dexterity based.
Ooh, okay. Then that's going to be 21 to hit.
21 to hit. Solid. Not a crit, but solid. Roll damage.
Oh gosh, I'm stressed. Ooh, that's... Hold on, my brain's stressing out.
It's okay. It's okay. Breathe. You got this.
14 damage.
Nice.
Sorry, 16 damage. My bad.
You have your rapier for this?
Yes. And my shield up as well.
All right, so you have your shield up, pull out your rapier, and you cut through it. Your blade pierces fire like it's cutting through warm, fresh hog flesh. And as it moves through, you can see the flames lick and dance the blade. You can see he wants to scream, but he has no mouth. But meanwhile, 50 voices echo his ringing voice of pain. The whole town screams in agony as they run unrelenting. You have, next up, Kylie, your turn.
We booking it.
All right, you're running. Are you running after the Man on Fire, or?
No, away. Probably towards the home of the family at the very beginning.
All right, are you gonna use all 3 actions to run, or are you gonna do what? How
Yep.
All right.
All 3.
You start booking it. You start catching up with the bird. You get a little beyond. Next up, Michael. What's up?
I was just wondering, when he attacked me, I took the damage. Would my reaction actually come into play?
Your reaction to do damage to him?
Yeah, because my Eidolon.
Yes. Roll damage.
Okay.
Or roll to hit and then roll damage. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just pulling that up. Where is it? Where's my deep What's a 16 stat modifier for it?
It's 3.
3. Okay. 21.
That hits. Roll damage.
All right. Wait, that. 10.
Okay. So you have your psychokinetic outlash.
Nanny's attack.
Yeah. Kylie, as your blade cleaves through this man on fire, and the whole town screams in agony, you see him running until eventually you see him drop to his knees, drop to his torso, arm extends, and he falls down dead as your blade carves through his form. Suddenly, another person in town starts to convulse, grab at their throats, screaming swear words. They drop to the floor, and stepping out of their corpse in a gore of flesh, like a butterfly being born from a fleshy, disgusting pod, the man of fire reemerges and starts running after the Tengu. You have killed the man on fire one time. It is now Michael's turn. You have been part and parcel to the murder of the man on fire, and you can see him reborn out of the fleshy, gory corpse of another member of the town as he runs after you all. What do you do, Michael?
I'm going to use all my actions to GTFO.
All right.
Running.
So you're booking it, running. The horde will go. Members of the town start gaining on you with all their might. You can actually hear them heaving breath as they're running after you with everything they have in their body. Nothing will stop them from this chase. They are 5 feet away from you. Their turn is done. Starting the next round, Sidney, you see the town fleeing after everyone. Fleeing after you. And the man on fire reemerge in this gory explosion of what was a towns member. What do you do?
I'm going to summon creature.
All right.
I'm going to summon a lemure.
All right.
And then I'm going to run with my snake and my lemure while while it protects me from people as I run.
So suddenly this beast bursts out of the ground, scoops you and your little snake up, and starts running with you. Sam, you have witnessed the man on fire die and burst from a townsperson, like a match head being struck. You're running for all your life. What do you do next?
Just to verify, I have 3 actions.
That's correct.
All right. First, I'm gonna go ahead and use a cantrip, Ray of Frost, with a range of 120 feet. Is that in range of the fireman?
That will hit. I mean, that's in range. I'm sorry. That will be in range to hit. Roll to hit if you wish to.
Okay. Oh, not gonna hit because it's a 3 on the die.
That may miss. So I'm going to say it does. And as you turn and fire your ray of frost, it whiffs by him. You see it strike some random member of the horde, and it hits them dead in the face. And you can see the flames of their mouth burn through the ice in a matter of seconds as it just drips to the floor as useless water. What do you do with your last action?
All right. Okay. So I couldn't cast Fleet Foot again, could I? Well, oh wait, it lasts a minute, I think. So I still have
Yes.
Fleet Foot going.
You should.
Okay, so I'm just booking it.
All right, one action to book it. Next up, Man on Fire. He is going to try and catch up to you guys. Nope. He's running after you, and you can see him, just all of his anger and fury. His limbs are pounding, but he is gaining no traction. He's losing all of his focus in his fiery wrath. He starts to fall back some, until all you can see are the people, the horde of City Main, start to crumble in around you. Next up, Kylie. You see a bunch of people starting to cluster in as you and your friends are just running, trying to survive.
We still running.
All right.
Still runs.
All 3 actions. Correct? All 3 actions?
Yes.
All right. Michael, what do you do?
Same thing. Same exact thing. I think also does my extra. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same thing.
So, really quick, because you have 3 actions and one of them has to go to Eidolon, you can share an action, but even still, it's 3 for you and 1 for them. Where is Nanny as you're in your retreat?
If anything, could Nanny dissipate?
You want to banish her to withdraw her? Yeah, easily. I think that's a free action or an action. Either way, yeah, you can easily.
Yeah, I think that's a free action actually. So I still have 1 action, right? Or no?
If it's a free action, you still have all 3 for running away.
Okay. Then with my floating action, wait. So I'm using 3 just give me straight. 3 actions to run away. My free action to get rid of Nanny.
And that's
fourth
it.
Action.
No,
also-
fourth action is only when they're out. It's an
Okay.
action you both share.
Cool.
So it would just be you getting rid of her and running.
Yeah. Then that's what's going on.
All right. You guys start running and running. Cobblestones are not meant for feet. Not meant for feet running. The small of your back is getting tight. Your hips are starting to burn. Your knees are starting to creak and ache. And you see a sign at an intersection that says Threshold Row. You see just down the street a house, entirely black, with a just half-open door. And you know this is the house of the family that said would house you in this time. Top of the next round, Sidney, it's your turn.
Amazing, because that's what I was gonna use my turn to do. Cool. Right. So we know we have to go there. Everyone knows we have to go there, so I don't have to worry about finding that out. So, perception check. Okay. Perception check to see if there's anything flammable nearby, like a tall pole that I could set on fire and knock over to create a barricade so they can stop following us.
All of the braziers in the town have been snuffed out. What was once a flame, every other block is now, or twice a block is now dead. However, you can still light them on fire with magic.
I'm going to use my cantrip spark to light them on fire.
The brazier lights on flame. Give me a deception check really fast.
That is, come on. $17.
Understood. What do you do with the rest of your turn?
I'm going to run. Just go.
All right. With the rest of your turn, you make it to the door. You break inside. You find the family in the middle of what could be considered prayer, on their knees, hands folded in the room. They seem shocked but not surprised to see you. Moving on to next. Sam, you see the witch ignite a flame in one of the braziers and run into the house completely black with a slightly cracked door. Now, bust wide open. What do you do?
How far behind me is the burning man?
He's lost behind the horde, but he can easily break through.
Okay. Booking it. I got 55 feet. All actions going.
All right. You going into the house, or are you just running down the street?
Into the house.
You immediately, in a matter of seconds, you just run up the stairs like you're running up a ramp, and you pop into the living room of the floor from earlier, and you see the witch next to you, and you feel this sense of both peace and calm, but also this heavy expectancy, like, now what? Next up, the man on fire. You hear a horrendous screaming as everyone in the town screams, and you see this poof of smoke. And out of the brazier lit by the magic, the man bursts, like coming from the womb. He shakenly steps, and he looks as you are now running towards him with the house to your right. He then takes a big step and screams a breath of fire. I need Kylie and Michael to roll a reflex save.
All right.
Nat 20.
All right.
We're in the same club, Kylie.
Hey! I like
All right.
this club.
As
Now's the time.
As he
upside down.
spits this giant cone of fire, you both basically lay the bike down and you skid on the road. It hurts, it cuts your elbows, it drags against your shins, and it completely busts open the skin on your kneecaps. But the fire goes right over you. And as it does, you can see the rage in his coal black eyes. As it is now Kylie's turn. Kylie, you are easily 15 feet away from the house. What do you do?
You're just gonna go inside.
Okay. You book with all your actions. You're now with Sam and Sidney, and the family is looking more and more confused, but expectant. Like, okay, there was one more of you. Michael, your turn. What do you do?
I run into the house. You said it's only 15 feet, right?
Only 15 feet.
Run in the house and slam the door closed. I do that.
You run in and you slam the door behind you. It is only a matter of seconds before the family goes, "Are you okay? Is he coming for us?" And then, in that instant, Michael, you suddenly feel an entire body of meat slam into the door behind you as you can feel a shoulder basically take the other side of the door. You can feel feet and legs pounding and kicking, hands punching the door as people are screaming and fighting to get in. The family looks to you all. And I must warn you, this is going to be a bit of a cutscene. The family looks to you all and they say, mon Dieu, sacrement, what do we do? The father then kind of nods and goes, "There's only one thing we must do. You know what we have to do." The mother says, No, our work is not done. And the father says, No. We have to save these people. Suddenly, glass bursts from their front window, and a body being thrown from their massive riot breaks through and stumbles into the room. They get up, their eyes pitch black coal, burning, their tongues spitting fire. And this body just starts screaming at you. This not even human, this burning pile of hate starts screaming at you until suddenly something harsh takes it from the back of the head and it drops. And this body is just being pummeled again and again and again, way too long, by a small frame. The small frame of the son, who then stops, takes a breath. His breath can't catch. It grows harsh and harsher and harsher. As he starts clutching at his throat, the son starts spewing these words of hate and loathing. He starts spewing words of horrible swears as tears roll down his eyes. These horrible words. He's clutching his throat as hard as he can. He's not even trying to stop. He's just trying to stop the blood from flowing to his mouth so the words of putrid hatred will stop, and he can't. And as he does it, he just cries as his eyes burn at his skull, as the son's eyes turn to coal, as tears dry on his cheeks, as fire burns from his throat, as he drops to the floor saying, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean what I said. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And suddenly, his father says, "No more talk." He grabs his eye patch and he rips it off his face to show you this malformed and mutated side of his face with his eye that just keeps hanging off and sliding open like a hanging door. And he says, "Woman, get up to the basement. We have no more time for talk." And the man turns to his son. He grabs him by the collar and he screams, "Rogesek, you will not have my boy today. And we will open the door." And immediately, as he's screaming this, the mother and the daughter grab you all by your shoulders and tear you down the stairs into the basement. They open this door and they throw you in. And as they do, they look like they want so much to be in this room with you, but they look up and they hesitate at the sounds of the fighting between father and son in the throes of madness. They break off the handrails, they rip off wood from the walls, and they go, "Please, whatever you do the right thing." And they run up the stairs back to the fire and the madness the son and father are now in. And as you enter the basement, you see a room that is unlike anything in this house. It is cold stone masonry up to the walls. There is no windows, there is no home furnishings, but a cruel desk scattered with papers. All over the walls, you see ancient sigils and arcane symbols painted in blood. These symbols of a door frame with a door just slightly cracked open. And there, in the middle of the floor, is a giant eldritch arcane symbol, made in equal parts blood, with deep and ancient writing. Standing in the dead center of this giant circle of symbols is a threshold of a door, with nothing behind it, and nothing in front of it. Just a monolith of a door and a threshold with a doorknob standing in front of you. Upstairs, you can hear the roaring scream of violence, the pounding on the doors, the roaring scream, the child saying he's sorry, but also spewing words of violent fire, hate, and the family facing an unknowing mob of fire and death. You have but one choice, 1 second, and as you think about this second, the blood is pumping adrenaline to your skull. The door is standing in front of you, just all of a sudden. Opens just a crack. What do you do?
Amran goes up to the door. She flashes her eyes. And she walks through.
Kuko watches her go in and looks at everyone else and says, "Well, take our chances somewhere else. All right." And goes in the door.
Laszlo just kind of looks back and forth and goes, "The hell with this. The hell with this." Just lunges towards the door, like kind of full body,
Yeah. Kylie, what do you do?
Lucinda quickly grabs just a couple pieces of parchment off the table and like stares at the door and like looks up kind of like, I guess, at the heavens. And it's like, I don't fear death, but this is it. Let them know I love them, and follows through.
As you all step through the door, this door with nothing behind it and nothing in front of it, the minute you cross that threshold, the door closes. It locks behind you. And all you can hear in the back of your voice, in the back of your head is a voice. You all hear a challenge And that challenge is this. Are you ready for the unknown? And that is where we'll be ending episode 2 of Edge of Legend, Nightmare of Doltonshire. We have a whole group of survivors, y'all. Welcome, the survivors, the victors of episode 2. No one died, but I'll be honest, y'all. You were very, very close. You were this close to joining the horde of rage and madness. You were this close. Some of you were like 8 or 9 out of 10 points. All it would have taken was one wrong choice, and you would have become a burning, flaming madness monster. So, we did it, you guys. That was episode 2. I think we are going to do a big exit-tro introduction, a big thank you. Starting with, first of all, raise your hand. Who has the energy to even say goodbye?
Well, could I very quickly give an intercom voiceover of all of the lovely people who supported us over this? Just reading our little list of folks that give bits and subscribed. I'll be very quick.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much, Sam. Do you wanna do that?
Yes, intercom voiceover time. Hello, everybody. Good news. Reap Psyche subscribed. Thanks, Reap Psyche. Keep reaping psyches. Mahooch subscribed for 2 months. That's more than one. Great job. And also, Malus 1974, 200 bits, 200 buds. That's what I'd say. Lady Atriel, 4 bits. That's something to cheer for. Yeah. 100 bits from Reap Psyche. 100 therapy sessions is what I'm gonna need after this one. Binary Fireball subscribed. There was a lot of fire here. You added more. Thank you.
Oh my
and
gosh,
another 100 bits from Lady Altariel and Malice 1974. Thanks, guys. That was ridiculous.
Thank you so much for that, Sam. In fact, if everyone in the chat, if you'd like Sam to do the closing thank yous, I think they did an amazing job. Without further ado, Sam, please, tell them who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, I'm Sam Sterling. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, kinda Twitter at Hey Sam Sterling. That was wild, yo. That's all for me.
Michael Powell, say who you are, where I can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Laszlo should really be dead by now.
With his 2 HP.
No,
2.
Three.
Nah, you had 6,
So
you took
dead.
4, 2. I've been doing the math.
So dead. Holy crap.
Well, anyway, I'm Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my social media, such as at Mr. Kapao. That's MRKAPAO. I'm not doing the song thing today. I have the energy for that. Or my Facebook page, which is Michael Powell, Facebook.com/Michael Powell does stuff, because I do a lot of stuff. And my new YouTube channel, which is Fantastic Tales of Adventure. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed thus far. It's super awesome. And on Thursdays, I do a show on the Toyzilla Network channel called Toyzilla Live. Toys and nostalgia, and I need a vacation.
Oh God, Kylie, please tell us, who is this amazing creature and where can we find them gracing us with great power and presence on the internet?
Well, hi, I'm Kylie, or Kai. I'm really tired now. You can find me at Kai's Wonderful Life on Instagram, or kind of Twitter, or TikTok. Oh God. If you liked this character, will probably be posting TikToks, a little backstory, like I did tonight at Kai's Wonderful Life on TikTok, all about her talking about her kid. So if you want to know more about that and cry a little, check it out.
And you can never cry enough, because God forbid if this fighter dies in the next 2 episodes. Sorry, Kylie.
That's gonna be a rough letter to send.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we can have Drew Cinda appear later. Who knows? And last but not least, before me, because I'm the least, Sidney, it was awesome to have you back on the show. I know you're super busy, and I know we look forward to seeing you, not next week, but the week after that. So please tell us who you are and where we can find you in the sweet, sweet internet and in life.
Okay, I am Sidney. You can find me on the internet at Sidney Rubino. Super simple. It's my first and last name. Every Tuesday, I tell fairy tales for anyone who wants to listen. I post that on my YouTube. This month, I'm doing Grimm's Fairy Tales. It's a little bit darker. They're very interesting, very dark stories. Love it. I'm very busy working at the LA Haunted Hayride this year. I love it. We're selling out shows like crazy, but we're still adding more because of how popular it is. So if you want to go see it, check out their website. And yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh man, what a good time.
Side note, I think Sam should do all of our announcements at the beginning of the show and any thereafter.
I think that's good. I think I'll just have to write all the announcements and be like, Sam, could you please, could you?
Sold. The sweet, sweet tones of my shiny round mic. I can do that for a small fee.
For a small fee.
Not killing my character.
Oh, no, see, I can't promise that. I guess I'm last. My name is PJ Megaw. You can find me everywhere at PJ Megaw. When I'm not here on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can also find me here on Nat 20 Productions Official with my man, Master Michael Powell, and we will be doing on Tuesdays, 3:30 to 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. We do At the Table, where we talk about amazing Paizo products, the awesome characters, classes, rules, builds, all kind of stuff. And we also do building NPC characters with the audience. Now, that being said, last episode, we hit our official cap of 5 NPC characters, which means when November comes around, and we get back to the regular Edge of Legends story, you all get to vote on which one of these 5 NPCs that the chat invented with us gets to become a real canonical character for me to spread and pepper in there. Details about that when it happens. Also, Fridays normally, I'm doing a thing with my friend Ryan Omega at Life Action Roleplay called Secret. What happens when a bunch of D&D characters and classes graduate from high school and go to community college. We will be dark the next 2 weeks, as Indiecade will be a big, big thing. So look up Indiecade all over the internet. Yours truly will be role-playing at 6 in the morning, Tuesday the 20th, as I play Honey and Hot Wax, or Hot Wax and Honey. I might be getting the name wrong. So see what happens when a bunch of high school kids start having the talk with each other about what it means to have feelings for people, and shenanigans arise. Last little bit of plug, October 23rd, I will be reaching with a really good friend of mine, MB Stage Productions, to be doing a D&D game. So if you want me to be your DM, bother them and join my Jumanji game. That's right. If you like the movie Jumanji, I have a Jumanji campaign that I've written where you all wake up with amnesia. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you can do. But what you do know is that in the jungle, you must wait till someone rolls a 6 or 8. I'm 33, and I've never forgotten that rhyme. I have a problem. That being stated, I hope you guys really liked episode 2. I want to apologize right now for anyone this got really real for. And I also hope you guys were able to enjoy this regardless of all this stuff. And look forward to episode 3, The Labyrinth of Doors, next week. You guys have a great night, and I cannot wait. I know, Sidney, I know. I feel so bad. Anyway, until then, I'll see you same Nat time, same Nat channel.
Don't forget, PJ, tomorrow, next week on At the Table, we have a special guest.
Oh my God, I completely forgot. At the table next week, I'm a horrible host. At the table next week, we have a special guest. One of our guest players next week on this show will be meeting us Tuesday to help build their character for the show. So please tune in and help us build this character together. World of Wittivere, if you know them from their shows, from their Instagram, from their D&D campaigns, World of Wittivere will be joining us Tuesday at the table to build their character so they can join us Wednesday for this show. So sorry. Anyway, massive shout out to Reap Psyche and your amazing monologues about what the Man on Fire was saying. Massive shout outs to all the people who subscribed and who did bits and everything. Does anyone have any raids y'all want to recommend? Because I got to pee real fast and we can You can ship it to
And
whoever.
Also, thank you, Reap Psyche. Laszlo is pragmatic. I was during the chase, waiting for my turn. I was looking at what character to make next.
Binary Fireball, also awesome to have you in the show. I love your name. You've been awesome, an amazing audience member, and I cannot wait to see you in the chat again next week. Oh my god.
Oh,
Don't
Reap
forget
Psyche
to join
also
our
has this
Discord.
question.
Oh yeah,
let's see.
join our Discord. We're there all the time, laughing and talking and sharing memes and talking about the show and memes about the show. Join us.
Reap Psyche posted, let's see, does this mean PJ owes them all bottles of booze now?
Nope. Episode 4 is who I owe booze to. And like the Highlander, there will probably only be one. Not one good movie. There's like 3 good ones, but only one Highlander.
Uh-oh, spaghetti.
Uh-oh, I think Sidney's having a... There she is.
Hi.
Man. Thank you so much. Please stick around. I think we're going to go raid Blythe. Again, I forget her name, so please, if you know Blythe's channel, put it in the chat. Thank you so much. And you guys sleep well. Enjoy your spoopy Halloween season.
Oh, God. Bye.
Same, Michael. Same.
Bye.